Hello, and welcome to the Metalheads podcast. My name is George.
This is Buke.
This is Jay.
This is Will.
And this is John.
We are very pleased to be joined today by Dan and Zach of Khemmis. Would you please introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band?
I'm Zach from Khemmis, and I play drums. Dan and I play bass.
All right, thank you. So
I'd like to, hold on, George, I want to jump in here and just take a moment to thank these guys for doing no research on our show whatsoever, because if we don't normally have people with a lot of number one records. A lot of people chose you as a number one record. And if you knew how bad this show was, you would have been like, fuck you. So, well done, boys.
I thought Dan had listened to one.
We did know. We both listened to an exceptionally long.
Yes.
That's how this
That's us.
podcast is. That's us.
So take that, Jay.
Yeah, I listened to it before we decided to come on. We both did. So.
And it sounded
so
fun,
they
I
actually
hope.
screened us then. Okay.
Yeah, I think
that came with no opinion, though. We listened to one.
Yeah,
No,
one.
We had already committed to it.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. You're already too late.
well, they only listened to one. They started in December, and they just now finished, so...
Yeah, we'll take it easy.
All right, well, dear listeners, if you haven't heard about Khemmis, you must be living under a rock. Their second album, Hunted, released last October, made quite a bit of noise in the metal media. It was even featured on 3 of our year-end lists, and as I'm sure Buke is going to tell us, it was his number one. So I know Buke's been chomping at the bit to do this interview, so why don't we unleash him and get started?
Gentlemen, again, you guys, my number one album of the year. Let's just start right out and say, how has the past couple months been for you guys in the band? Because for those who don't know the band, you guys have wasted no time putting out Absolution in 2015 and Hunted last year. It's been a whirlwind couple years for you guys here.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible, to say the least. We've tried to stay as active as we can and basically just keep the writing process going continually. I think I'm paranoid about running out of steam or something, so we just try to keep pushing all the time. Yeah.
Well, you got some good momentum going, so keep at it.
And a lot of praise. You've got. How did that feel last year? I mean, Buke wasn't the only one who chose you as the number one record.
Yeah, Decibel had you too.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, we get the question about, about accolades and reviews and all that stuff a lot. And I mean, sometimes it's really uncomfortable because we just, especially in town, like in Denver, we're just part of the community here. We don't feel like anything's changed significantly. But I don't know. Some people handle it better than others, and I just kind of like blush and like, thanks, man.
Thanks a lot. Gee, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely. It's humbling, and we're appreciative of it. So, yeah.
Well, recently I follow you guys pretty extensively. You guys played. It looked like a great sold-out show in your hometown a couple weeks back, and you guys just sold out Vitus last weekend, which I watched the video last night. I had just worked 30 hours this past weekend, the last 2 days, and I spent all last night watching your guys' Vitus show, and it was amazing. I've heard how special Vitus is for shows. Well, I got to ask you guys, how was it playing a sold-out Vitus show? You guys played with Crip Sermon, for forgetting the other band, but it looked like it was an awesome time.
Yeah, Sanhedrin was the first band, and they, I think, are relatively new, but I fucking loved them. I thought they were really cool. They just had this great groove, driving. Anyway, cool. It was super cool. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. We got there and the bands were cool and we knew it was sold out. And, we couldn't even unpack our merch box before people were like mobbing us, awesome. which was awesome. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing was just so surreal. We're constantly talking to people and it just all happened really fast. And then I think we were really happy with the show that we put on that night. And it was nuts, man. The crowd was nuts. And something, we played in front of probably more people, not many more, but we definitely played in front of more people, but a packed house at such a legendary venue, it just felt amazing. It was one of my like most proud like band moments.
Yeah, we've all been looking forward to that show for a little while, and St. Vitus is we've all wanted to play there, so it was pretty surreal. And then to get to do it with the Crypt Sermon, I mean, everybody in the band is a fan of that band, so it was quite the time.
Was it kind of a whirlwind couple of days for you? Did you guys fly in the night before, fly in that morning? How did it work? Were you traveling with your drums, Zach? Were there house drums you had to borrow?
I actually, Enrique from Crypt Sermon was nice enough to let me use his kit. I brought cymbals and snare. We were traveling with the least amount of gear that we could, but we flew out that morning, or I guess afternoon, the day of the show. So we played Chicago the night before, got up, hopped on a plane, got into LaGuardia, and then cabbed over to St. Vitus. Basically.
Oh, you know what, guys?
Airport to St. Vitus is what we did.
If the praise keeps going up and up and up, you better get used to more shows like that. You know what other band does that? Iron Maiden. You may have heard of them.
Yeah,
we're a little familiar.
We were talking about buying a trailer to tour, but I think we're just going to buy a plane.
Yeah. Hey,
Kim forced me.
So, as popular as if you've gotten so rather quickly, do you have any idea, any notion of what you've done that's made you so popular? You know, what are you doing right?
I mean, this is probably the most arrogant response, but I think that we wrote an album full of good songs.
No, there is no arrogance here because you're on the best podcast in the world. So let us have it, Dan.
Yeah, well, you hear about bands that struggle for years before they get a break, and not that it's been effortless, but you make it seem like it was just like, well, here's an album, it's awesome. Oh, well, here's another album, it's awesome too.
And you know, not to speak for Jay, but when your guys' album came out last year, Jay was like, guys, there's something here.
Yeah,
nice, man. Well, we appreciate it. Go ahead, Zach.
I think part of it is you know, I think the kind of there's like trends in metal that cycle through, and right now I think this style is really hitting a stride again, including like traditional heavy metal. And so the fact that we have elements of that, and then we have clean singing, so there is a little bit more element of it being accessible, has opened the door maybe a little bit more from that initial jump for us. So we weren't fighting against like, we're playing cryptic death metal. Yeah, I think that's going to be more of an uphill battle to get recognition over time versus kind of having the sound that we have.
Yeah, I think you are right in the sweet spot right now in a good way. You know, that's a good point.
Was Doom the original direction of the band from the outset? And if so, what made you want to play that style?
I think it was maybe more traditionally Doom. Honestly, when Ben and I first got together and started talking about what we wanted to do musically, he was coming really from like a hard kind of like Neurosis sound. And I was kind of coming from more of a sludgy, stonery, sound. And like Doom kind of seemed like where those two met. Mm-hmm. So, initially or earlier stuff we played and worked on was probably more quote unquote like conventional Doom. It just kind of, and it just evolved over time to, kind of the sound we have now, which, some people call it Doom, and I guess we do too sometimes. I don't know. Yeah.
Isn't your Twitter Khemmis Doom at Khemmis Doom?
It is. Yeah. And our van's license plates say Doom Van.
Do they really?
Oh, man.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that on the highway.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm surprised we have not got pulled over yet, but Colorado plates say Doom Van.
I saw an interview, and I think it was with Zach, where he said that the band's foundation is built more on Thin Lizzy and ZZ Top than Black Sabbath. Now, neither of those bands is monumentally heavy, so how does that lead to such a heavy sound?
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just in like the way that we think about the band and like our approach rather than how it comes across sonically. I mean, there are elements with the harmonized leads that we all love. So that was, we kind of found the middle ground in like Iron Maiden and Thin Lizzy and rock and roll in general. And I think the influence from those bands is more like some of the rhythmic elements being more based in like, okay, we can have a swing shuffle riff, which isn't really traditional Doom. That's more rock and roll. So we'll work those things in our own way, rather than kind of sticking to, okay, we're going to play it more straight, which would be more traditional Doom in my opinion, I guess. So almost just like the attitude, the kind of some of the rhythmic approach, the harmonized leads, those that's more the rock and roll bass than the heaviness necessarily.
And for what it's worth, I one comment, I think Phil Lynott is like the heaviest motherfucker that ever lived. You know what I mean? Like in a way. So yeah, he really is. So I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan, and I totally understand why metal guys like Thin Lizzy.
It's like there's this thing about Thin Lizzy. It's like you can listen to it casually, and it's like, oh, that's cool rock and roll. But then if you know about the band and you listen to the lyrics, you're like, shit, this is pretty fucking heavy,
And it's so driven by bass, and a lot of time, like what Phil is doing on the bass underneath some of the most sort of poppy sounding songs brings it to this other weird level. They're such a legit influence for a metal band in my mind.
And how he holds it together while they're doing, so many harmonies and, so many leads, you almost have no rhythm guitar in that band for like 30 to 50% of the time. Their drummer is it's so like I try to steal as much as I can, and just in the approach where he's like perfectly laying in the beat, but he's sneaking in all these cool little fills and these cool little accents. So when you really start listening to it, you're like, fuck, man, this guy's incredible.
It's great, yeah. Do you guys either of you have a favorite Thin Lizzy album?
Mine's Johnny and the Fox. So.
Mine's probably Black Rose.
Wow, those, okay. I mean, Johnny the Fox, yeah, they are a little obscure. Black Rose, I think a lot of the 80s guys who grew up in, like with George and I's time, that would be a lot of favorites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Axl Rose going, Black Rose, man.
Was he into that? Is that true?
No, yeah. The GNR guys were definitely into Thin Lizzy.
I'm totally generic. I'd go straight to Jailbreak.
Yeah, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. In fact, that's like the standby for me too. But we listen.
It's like Led Zeppelin 4. You look like a dork if you pick it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Which I'm glad you mentioned that for our list later on.
Hey, Johnny the Fox for me is just because I feel like it's the most solid all the way through. There's like a few tracks on Jailbreak that are all right.
Yeah, fair enough. Buke, I interrupted you.
No, I was just saying you touched on it there for a second. You guys said the harmonizing parts of your guys' songs. I think that's what you guys do so exceptionally well. And I think the growth from the first album to the second one, like when you guys, I love how you guys lead into, for those who haven't seen you guys again live, just go on YouTube, check out when you guys play Candlelight, you're like, when Ben's like, we are Khemmis, and this is Candlelight. And then you go right in, Dan's, the harmonizer with you guys right there. Oh, man, it just hooks you right from the start. I just scared my little 2-year-old because my excitement.
You sounded a little bit like me there for a minute, talking about Throssenblatt.
God, you would think that I'm trying to sell like a monster truck event or something.
Khemmis.
But guys, when you Dan, I gotta ask you, a lot of this genre, you guys, the Mono Lord, the Conan, bands like that, are driven with real heavy bass. And I think sometimes maybe on some of these bands, it's almost, instead of turning it up to 11, turn it back down to like a 10. I guess, how much do you play into the songwriting? Because I hope you're not one of those guys where they're like, Dan's just a bass player. Stay over in the corner, Dan.
Yeah, they do make that joke a lot.
Yeah, well, of course, we have George. George's our bass player here.
Well, look at him. It's definitely weird for me a little bit in this, or it was at some point a little bit weird for me in this band because it's a guitar band. Like I had to come to terms with that. I can play maybe a little busier. I can play maybe a little bit more melodic, but the problem is that I feel for like the best song product that when you have guitar melodies, and sometimes you have two guitar melodies overlapping while you have a strong kind of soaring vocal melody, I kind of feel like the last thing I need to do is introduce another melody. So,
but are you using like a fuzz pedal or something, or a little distortion on your bass?
Shitloads usually, yeah.
Dude, you are the reason you guys sound the way you sound. So
yes,
you can come up.
And that was kind of the hidden question within the question, because I think doom bands are defined by the bass.
Like this. I mean, that's you, dude. You bring the fucking pain.
I think I do. It's a kind of like a Phil Lynott thing. When these guys are off noodling, I got to hold the song down. Now his bass licks are fucking sick, but we're not playing Thin Lizzy music. We're playing heavier versions. So, man, I take a lot of pride in it, and I try to find my place. As far as songwriting goes, I'll be perfectly honest. Like the guitar players usually come in with most of the riffs, but it is a very collaborative process. We totally work on it together. We write, transitions and bridges together.
Arranging the whole song. I mean, they'll come with riffs, and then we'll kind of put together the arrangement and massage the riffs. It is really
like that. You should trademark that term. Jay, when you're working in the studio, massage the riffs.
Massage the riffs.
Yes.
Yeah, man. It's like, because we all had pretty strong opinions about what we want it to sound like. So, like, Ben might be like, oh, check out this riff. And we'll be like, oh, what if instead of at the end, you did this kind of turnaround? And, we'll just, like, abstractly, like, give him an idea. And then he'll try to articulate that. And then we'll kind of keep working on it that way.
But all that said, do you know any good bass player jokes?
I only know drummer jokes.
Okay, I got a bass player joke for you. So this guy's playing the bass in his house. He's got a wife and a kid, and the kid comes running out of the practice room, running through the living room, and his wife and the guy comes out chasing him like he's going to kill the kid, and the wife says, whoa, what's going on here? And the bass player says, he turned one of my tuning pegs and he won't tell me which one. Feel free to use that.
Unfortunately, yeah.
How do you know if there's a drummer at your door?
How do you know?
The knocking speeds up.
Oh, wow! We're hitting them both.
Man, we're just.
Or did you hear about the band?
George, so stop while you're ahead.
Oh, come on.
Go ahead.
All right. I was gonna say, did you hear about the band that they accidentally locked their drummer in the van? They had to break the window to get him out.
Hey, Dan and Jack, I got to ask you guys here though too. I don't think, George, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't interviewed or really spoke to that many Doom bands on the pod.
Well, Unearthed Elf is technically Doom.
But this question he couldn't answer as much. Dan and Zach, sometimes, I know you guys don't mind playing what you do, of course, or else you wouldn't be in the band. But are there times when being this traditional Doom, you guys are like, man, I sure wish sometimes I could blast out some blast beats right about now, but I got to put on the brakes a little bit. Because you know what, Zach? George and I saw last year or 2 years ago at Maryland Death Fest. What was it? Skepticism, George? The Funeral Doom Band.
Yeah.
And we're up there watching it, and the set is just blowing us away. But I'm like, man, that drummer looks bored silly.
Yeah.
Well, there was some band that Hellhammer was in that he wasn't being, like, overly utilized. And we were like, man, he looks bored back there because he's just like,
Yeah.
But
so
really
that was
for you.
There you go. Let's hear it. Yeah.
For this band, I try to write the parts so that they're interesting and fun for me to play. But at the end of the day, I think we're all focused on making the best songs that we can. So I don't really think it doesn't bother me in any way. But there's an element of me that's still, I've played in death metal bands for a while. And so there's an element of me that definitely wants to bust out some of the faster stuff. But if I'm going to do that, for the most part, I'll do that with a different band.
Okay, so if 3 or 4 years from now there's some hush secret says, oh, is Khemmis breaking up? And then it hits the internet, it's because Zach wanted to go play some blast beats, and the rest of the guys were like, no, you're not bringing them to the band.
Nah, that's a side project.
I'm really hearing a theme here, though, and I'm inclined to say, related to some of our earlier questions, that some of your success is focused on the fact that you guys really are focused on the songs. Like that, and that happens, but it's not. There are a lot of guys that's just like, what's the fastest, weirdest thing we can do here, or whatever thing.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
I know, God, sometimes, you're listening to a band and you're like, man, I really wish this motherfucker would just take a back seat and let this riff be cool or whatever is happening at the time, and we try to make sure that
about Zach Wilde?
Actually, it's related. Can I ask you a question? You guys had such a well-respected record last year, and again, it was number one in a lot of top 10 lists. What did you guys like last year? Other bands?
Oh God, yeah. In 2016.
Yeah. You could just say what you're listening to now too.
The Vector album was something that I think we can both agree on.
Yeah, the Vector album.
Okay.
Superlabs,
Dan and Zach, while I got you guys here, can you
let them answer a question?
No, I want them to answer this one first because it's hitting with me.
Yeah, whatever.
My members on the podcast here, they like the Vector, but they said it was too long.
Oh, yeah. I can relate to that.
Hey, maybe I shouldn't have interrupted then.
That's what we call a backfire.
Yep.
No. I like it. It is a long album. I find it enjoyable all the way through, but I understand that perspective. I prefer shorter albums.
It's exhausting was our comment.
Seriously, I usually only listen to like 50-75% of the time.
Me too.
But it's all of it's good, Well,
it's such a good album. You can jump in halfway and start there.
Absolutely.
I don't think you're losing a lot. I do that the way it kind of loops from the first to the last track. There's some tie-in, so there is payoff listening to it front to back. But the songs are so damn good. Yeah, jump in anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything else that you guys really dug last year?
I didn't really have enough like time to hang with it, but so I didn't really recognize it maybe a month ago or 2 months ago. But I've been listening to the Cobalt album a lot, and I thought it's fucking good.
Aren't they out by your way? Are those guys from?
They are, yeah. Eric. Well, it's really just Eric now, I think. But yeah.
Do you know him?
Kind of. I've met him. The guys in Primitive Man had introduced me, and we just kind of like said, "I like your record," and he's like, "I like your record too."
So there's a song on there called "Elephant Graveyard" that was like one of my favorite songs of the year. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yep.
I think we all.
I haven't chimed in yet as well. So that leads me to a couple questions, but one was on my personal list last year for top album stuff. It seemed like there was a lot from Denver, Colorado. So do you know a lot of the guys? I'm assuming you know the guys from like Blood Incantation, Pile of Priests. Who else is from out there that was on my list last year? But it just seems like Denver is it's a mecca of great metal.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'm pretty good friends with the Blood Incantation, Spectral Voice guys, that crew, and then there's the Dreadnought gang and Primitive Man and
Call the Void,
more
of a grindcore-ish. I don't know how they keep changing, but anyway, man, it's pretty awesome in the sense that it's kind of all kind of coming together, right now. Like the guys in Spectral Voice and Blood Incantation, I don't know that they've been Blood Incantation all that long, to be honest. Have they? How long? 3 years?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like with us too. It just is kind of all solidifying at the same time, which is kind of weird and coincidental but awesome.
It's the new Seattle scene.
I hope that'd be awesome.
It would be cool. Blood Incantation, by the way, just to sneak it in, made several of the podcast lists this year too, at our end of year list. So
so when you got
one of my favorites,
ours as well.
Yeah. So when you got word that you were number one, I think on Decibel Magazine's list, and Blood Incantation was what, number 3?
Yeah.
Did you guys like hang out and throw a big party and drink some beers?
We kind of didn't. I mean,
I hung out with those dudes, and we just joked about it basically.
Yeah,
I gave them shit for being 3.
Yeah, what's number 3?
As you should.
Where is Decibel published? What Decibel's
Philly.
Got a hard on for Denver right now? Philly. All right.
Philadelphia.
Right
Yeah.
Did they call you guys or anything, by the way, and tell you, or send you email and tell you we're number 1?
They did. Yep. When we did the interview for the article, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they told Dave, who runs $20 Spin, kind of ahead of time, and he passed it along and was like, "You can't tell anybody." So
it was weird. We knew for months.
So then when people read,
they'd be like, "Oh, do you think you're going to make the list this year?" And I'd just be like, "Yeah, I think so."
I got a question.
Maybe.
What kind of list is it, though, that they knew months ahead of time? They're like, well, screw everybody from September on.
Well, I was going to say, if you heard it on the last podcast, I knew months ahead of time as well. So I'm kind of curious, did I know before you guys knew?
You may have. Yeah. I don't remember the date we found out, so it's hard to say. George, you brought up a really good point about when albums release. Mm-hmm. And we never thought about this shit before, but the fact of the matter is, if you release in the last couple months, a lot of times your album gets overlooked.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the magazines and stuff, and even us, we get promos months earlier than everybody else. So
Sure.
But still, if something comes out in December, like maybe, I don't know, the Pile of Priests album that came out in December 2015, and I thought it was this Tuesday. Anyway, they kind of screwed on that. So
well, the Witchery album came out really late. Witchery, I don't know if you guys know or like them, and it's a fucking great record. It should have been on everybody's list, as far as I'm concerned. But nobody had a chance. But yeah, you got to be strategic these days, I guess.
Yeah, and then there's the opposite, right? Which is like in 2015, the Baroness album was #1 on the list. They hadn't even been released.
That's right.
By the time the magazine hit.
Yeah,
that's right. Those are the odd things about this stuff, which thank God we don't have to think about.
Yeah. So speaking of which, guys, and this is just a general curiosity I always have with guys. Shh. Sorry, my kids are in the room. I apologize.
That's the Metalheads podcast. Talking metal and babysitting for years running.
There you go, man. Got one.
My son is wearing a Slayer. She did.
She bolted in the house right when you guys called, and she's like, "We're home," and I'm like, "I'm shutting the door."
Honey, Daddy's being cool right now.
I did tell them that if they want to come down I'm in the basement. I'm secluded down here. I said, So my son's wearing a Slayer shirt. My daughter's wearing her Suffocation shirt. So in case they got on camera, at least they're cool. But back to my question. Do you notice as a band a huge jump in sales after, say, Decibel Magazine's releases you picks you as #1? Or I forget, you were on the list last year as well. I don't remember where you were on the list, but I mean, do you see like a huge spike in either sales or illegal downloads or something? I mean, do you guys physically track any of that, or can you correlate those two things?
We don't track it. $20 Spin does. We hope. But I can say that, man, I don't know. It's hard to say. The release when we released it on the release date, I mean, it sold a lot of copies. We sold all our colored copies in under 6 hours or something, like 250 copies just on Dave's website. So I don't know. I mean, we think it's selling well.
I know there's been a bump at the end of the year with making some of the end of the year lists. To what degree? I have no idea.
I can tell you
this way. Did it have to do another vinyl run yet, or are you still? Yeah. So it's already gone into phase 2 or whatever, is it?
It's actually the third. We're actually in the third pressing,
right.
Because the second one was smaller. Yeah, there you go. That's the blue one. Oh, is that the magenta one?
Yeah, it's the blue.
Oh yeah, cool. So we did I think the initial pressing was 1,000. I'm just talking vinyl.
Sure.
I have no idea. You would think that the download stuff, I don't know. But I think the first pressing was 1,000. That went pretty quick. We went through another 500, and we've actually been out our label's been out for a while. And another pressing of 1,000 is in the label now.
Cool.
It's interesting that you're mentioning vinyl, because is vinyl pressings the new metric on how well the album is selling? Are that many people in the vinyl now that's the new metric?
No idea. That's my metric.
Yeah. Do you guys personally collect vinyl?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the right show then.
Yeah, everybody in the band. So we're all record nuts, and that's kind of that's what we track the closest, because that's just where our heads are at.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you this: did you get your own colored vinyl?
I think all but one color, right? we weren't able to get straight blue.
The one that Buke has is the variant that none of us have.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there was a silver one that went to Europe, and none of us had that one. And there was a blue one that went to just record stores.
Yeah. No.
And none of us had that one because I wasn't about to go buy my own record. I thought that was stupid.
Okay, let me say here. No band should have to buy their own record. I don't care if it's a freaking blood-filled vinyl like Carcass or something would freaking do. You guys, nothing, But I want to ask you guys this real quick, and I know Will has some more questions about the local Denver area, but you kept mentioning $20 Spin. Coinciding with you guys gaining traction, man, are you guys signed to a great label.
Yeah.
That is freaking gaining traction now.
Yeah, he's definitely a quality over quantity guy. He released 2 records last year. Both were in the, top 5, right? Where was
both made our list.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Oranzi Pazuzu.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, which was John's on his list.
And mine.
And mine was on my list, too. That's a great record.
It is. Yeah. So he's a smart dude, and a really good person, and we like working with him. And we've had some opportunities to work with other people, and
he put on the Migration Fest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Panopticon played their first live show. How was that, guys? Because we haven't interviewed anybody who was there yet.
It was sweet.
Yeah, go ahead. It was awesome. It was run really well. I mean, it was almost like perfectly run. The one thing is it was like hot in the venue, but they gave out free water to counteract that. I mean, it was, especially for the first year of the festival, it was pretty uncanny, man.
They did run out of beer.
Oh, no.
Is he in Denver then? Is $20 spent out of Denver?
Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the Migration Fest was there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is John. Just real quick. Speaking of the vinyl, I'm looking at the artwork from it, and I love both albums. And I see a theme here with this old dude with the beard. Mm-hmm. So, is this your guy's Eddie? Your Vic Rattlehead. Is this going to show up on albums? It's almost like a trend, like we get introduced on Absolution. And Hunted, he's kicking some ass and slaying people. There's some blood going. I mean, are we going to see some more albums going this direction?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, no reason not to.
We really after the first drawing we had of him. I think we pitched the idea what if this was our Eddie? And we're just let's do it.
Who does the artwork?
It's working. I mean, your albums stand out right off the bat when you see them because of that.
Yeah.
Thanks. We don't have a name for him.
We don't. Oh, well, we call him the Beer Wizard because our initial piece of artwork for him, it was the first piece of artwork we actually ever commissioned, was this wizard guy with this kind of hands floating, pouring a beer. And I'll actually, maybe on a break, I'll go pull the original artwork out. It's in my filing cabinet.
I would love to see it.
So there's that, and then the other answer is Sam Turner is the guy's name. He's local artist who's amazing. He did this as well as all the True Brewing art.
Nice.
I was just commenting about how amazing that was before you guys got on.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Did he do? So Zach, full disclosure, I think you and I'm a brewer as well. So I think I've met you before at True. And I remember seeing this guy sitting at the bar. This is during, it was either CBC when it was in Denver or GABF, one or the other. But there was a guy sitting at the bar in a sketchbook just going nuts. I started talking to him. I don't remember his name. But I tried to hit up Nick from True a couple, probably a year ago, because I was so loved that artwork. And I have a True t-shirt that's got the kind of wizard guy holding the two kegs. Kind of it's an old ones from a couple of years ago. You guys are maybe opened up. Is that the same guy who did that shirt? He does all of it?
Yep, he does all of our art. He's kind of it's basically like our in-house dude. So all the True art, he's done everything. I mean, he's really built that brand on the aesthetic side. And then...
and the Khemmis brand as well.
Yeah, I mean, really... with Khemmis too.
God damn it! So I feel like there's this community out there happening that I want really bad to be a part of now.
It's pretty special, I have to say. I mean, not to be a dick.
It sucks. The weather sucks.
Confidence is great.
Don't come here.
Well, none of us are from here originally, so we can actually appreciate what's going on. I think that's right. So.
You guys have not so ordinary metal band jobs. Can we talk about those a little bit?
What are you talking about? I deliver pizzas. No.
Well, we know Zach works for True.
Yep. I'm the head brewer there, running the two brew houses that we have. Keeps me quite busy.
And Dan, what do you do?
I actually own my own business, and I do engineering and drafting consulting.
Such a stereotypical metal job.
Yeah.
We'll be driving around the city, and he's like, built that thing, I built that parking garage right there.
Wait, are you guys driving around when you're dropping off pizzas too?
We do it as a band.
Yeah.
That's just sort of fun, man.
Khemmis delivers your pizza.
That's when you're moonlighting?
We were just in Chicago, so I do this, there are projects, a lot of projects in the Denver area that I work on, but I'm originally from Chicago, so some of the first jobs work that I participated in was out there. So yeah, it was probably weird for these
Did you both end up there because of work? Is that how you came to Denver? Or? since you're not from there.
Yeah,
that was it for me.
Yeah, I had a job offer. I was really just looking for a change, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Chicago in the winter, you see the sun maybe 10 times.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And how do you like it? You guys like Denver? I mean, just as a kind of like area. Yeah. You dig it?
I love it.
Yeah, it suits me pretty well.
It's I thought I'd be out here for a couple years, and that was like 18 years ago.
I don't know my Colorado geography, but my sister lived in Golden for a while.
Yeah, it's probably like half an hour west of here.
Okay.
Yep, half hour west. Cool. Yeah, a little bit closer to the mountains than Denver.
Are Ben and Phil still working on those PhDs?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. 2 guys in one band. Any guy in a metal band working on a PhD is unusual.
Yeah.
Don't the guys at Bad Religion have PhDs or something like that?
Yeah, at least one of them I know.
One of them's like a teacher, professor.
I think, what's his name from Offspring as well?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Dexter,
yeah.
Pardon my rudeness, guys, just to break in here. I'm in California. It's lunchtime, so I'm eating a sandwich in front of you. I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is it a burrito?
So, as we move ahead here, we work our way through the pod and ask you guys a couple more questions. I just wanted to make it known while it's my daughter's trying to help me out. You guys are going on tour with Oathbreaker. You guys start going on some dates starting out in late March in Arizona at the Underground, March 26th. So if you want to see Khemmis, March 26th, see, my daughter's excited.
Sweet.
You got.
Go ahead, you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to play dad too. You guys are going to be going on tour for looks like a couple weeks here. So our listeners, if you want to see Khemmis, check them out. I will, and a couple of us will be seeing you guys at the Decibel Beer and Metal Festival.
Yeah, Zach, are you going to be pulling double duty there?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
I hope you guys aren't two big rock stars. We can actually meet you guys there, maybe.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Austin from Panopticon and I will both be pulling double duty at the Philly Metal and Beer Fest.
Yeah. Hammerheart.
Mm-hmm.
I will be pulling single duty because my brewery, Atlas, will be there as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's great, dude.
I'll be drinking everybody's beers.
Yeah, I'll be
the drunk guy.
Yeah, so you'll see plenty of me around.
Hey, Dan, I have to ask you this: when you guys go out to all these shows and you have a friend and your fellow band member there brews beer, what's your guys' backstage beer? Are you guys I don't see you guys pulling out a fucking pack of Natty Lights, are you?
and to follow up, what are you drinking now?
No, because let me finish first off. When we were the guys who showed up to Maryland Death Fest this past year, when Will had a cooler of craft beers, and these people come up to us and start grabbing beers thinking they're probably Natty Lights, and you're like, no, this is a couple $100 of fucking craft beer you're drinking here, asshole.
Well, as far as that shows, in that, first of all, we're not to the level where we get beer provided to us in the green room. Sometimes, actually,
every once in a while.
Yeah, and in Chicago, that beer was delicious. Was it Bell's?
Yeah, we got some Two Hearted and
that's a Michigan beer.
Some Half Acre. So it was, we were set up there.
That was great. That was the best green room beer experience by far. Normally, if there is beer in the backstage, it's whatever swill the venue.
And most of the venues you go to, they're like green room.
Actually, I'm wondering if you didn't actually just wander in a room that you weren't supposed to be in.
It was in the basement of the building next door.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was
exactly.
Yeah. But they had a fridge down there, and they put beer in it for us, so that was pretty cool. But most of the time, when we're lucky if we can snare a few like free PBRs, and I think we pretty much drink whatever they provide us. Right, we get a few tickets.
Yeah,
it's
nice to turn off the brewer brain for a little bit.
So to drink PBR, you have to first and foremost. But yeah, those tickets are where they say to you, you can drink any beer between this can and this. Nothing below this, nothing above. Yeah, so basically the PBR. Help yourself.
Yeah,
you can have one.
Exactly. Yep.
So what are we
hey, Zach and Dan, what are you drinking? Yeah.
The Tunnel of Trees. It's our kind of regular IPA from True. So, it's cheesy, but I brought True beer for this.
Fuck yeah, dude. Tunnel of Trees. That's a great name for a beer. I like that. Tunnel of Trees. That's kind of a metal name.
Yeah. I'm drinking 3 stars.
You get to, do you name some of the beers you brew?
Mostly, I leave that to Nick, our owner, just because I'm really bad at naming beers. I'll make them all day, but he seems to have the better mind for naming.
Well, generally speaking, they're all named something metal related, or they used to be anyway.
Yeah. Although you can mostly tell if I've named it because it's usually something old school. Like we just came out with Jewel Throne, so because I wanted to do a Celtic Frost beer.
Yes.
So.
Fuck yeah!
Do you guys do brewery tours?
Well, I was going to tell them the classic Celtic Frost albums are coming out on vinyl again, just in case you didn't know.
Oh, cool.
I just read that.
Anyway, you go.
I was asking, do you guys do brewery tours?
It's so small.
Because not to I'm not trying to poke fun, but Will says you guys make great stuff, but your operation is very small.
Oh yeah. So where our tap room is, we have one really small brew house, and there's no touring it. You can just look at it. I mean, the whole
there it is.
It's right.
It's right across from the bathrooms.
Yeah, and then so we have a second off-site facility that we're doing a lot more production at, and we haven't done any tours. Right? Yeah, the Acid Temple. So we haven't done any tours there yet, but maybe down the line.
Can I order your stuff from anywhere or anything if I want to try some of your beers out, or is it kind of okay?
Technically, it's not legal. So
look at the face Dan just made. Dan's like,
we get that request
but for what it's worth, I'm not asking you for free beer.
Yeah.
But okay,
Zach,
cool. Well, good to know, though. I mean,
so Zach,
where are you?
Try it.
maybe Will pick it up for me at the fest and send me something.
Yeah.
I mean, not send me anything, but you know what I'm saying. You know.
Jay, where are you located?
I'm in. Well, right now I just moved into a town called Richmond, but from Berkeley, California. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Well, oh man, we can probably. You want to meet us at the Parkside in San Francisco, and we'll give you a bottle of beer.
Yep,
right.
I do. I'll be there. As a matter of fact, I would love to come and I'll hang with you guys for a minute if that's cool. Yeah, I would love that, dude. Yeah, the Parkside's kind of a cool little place too, by the way.
Yeah. So be there March 29th, Jay.
Yeah, I will be there.
Thanks.
Yeah, I already knew about it. I'll be there without question.
You'll be here a couple days after that.
I'll friend you up on Facebook after this just to make sure we kind of stay in touch. And I will bring you Fieldwork beer, this great new brewery here that will fucking blow you away, dude. Good stuff.
Perfect.
Big growler.
While we're quickly talking beer here, Jay sent me in this care package where I finally got to taste my Pliny the Elder.
Oh, you bastard! Where's my Pliny, you fucker?
It lives up to its reputation. I have to say that. Finally, I never thought living here in Maryland I would ever get to have one. It definitely lives up to it.
We're lucky here. There's a beer bar called Falling Rock, and the owner's friends with Benny from Russian River, so we get that semi regularly.
Oh, do you good?
Yeah.
Do you get the bottles, or do you get like kegs of the younger? I don't know if the younger.
We get
the younger there. Yep.
Yep. There's younger. Mostly it's keg distribution. We do get cases in smaller amounts. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool,
Hey Zach, this is so brewer to brewer.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I know you guys have made a lot of beers for bands like Primitive Man. I know you've made a beer for. I saw a Starspawn beer this year for Blood Incantation. Yep. Have you made a beer for Khemmis yet?
It feels too self-serving.
Yeah, conflict of interest.
I don't know.
Buke, there's your answer, Buke.
Actually, I was going to ask you guys a question.
Self-serving for me to make a beer for the podcast. Thank you, Zach. I love it.
Because for years, Will makes all these beers for these local bands that kick ass, and we're like, can you make us a podcast beer? No. Now it makes sense. I will never give you any more shit about it. So Zach, I expect a Metal Podcast beer next week.
Well,
okay, all right, let's trade off.
Hey, Zach, let's do this. Zach, I'll make a Khemmis beer. You make a podcast beer. How about that?
Look at that.
And
so my other question is, Zach, are you coming to CBC in DC in April?
I am actually. I think I'm going to fly out after our last show to DC to hit CBC. So I'll be on the road for about a month there.
Awesome.
I think the last night at CBC, there's two important metal things going on that week. The Wednesday during CBC, Baroness is playing. Our friends at DC Brow are having their 6th anniversary party, and John and I went last year where the Sword headline. Mm-hmm. So Baroness is headlining the DC Brow Brewery show, and then the next night at Atlas, we're going to have a heavy metal night with some local bands there. So you should come check it out.
Oh yeah, that sounds great, man. I mean.
Yeah. I would love to know what Khemmis means, and it might be obvious to some people, but I don't know.
I was going to get to that. Apparently, Dan came up with the name, so
I don't think if it's obvious to you, you'd be really weird. I think it was a weird name. You guys have probably been through this. I'm sure. I know Jay plays, and I'm sure you guys some of you have played too. But you get in a band and you're doing some stuff. And you're like, all right, it's time to have a name. Like you can't really get a show unless you have a name. So we make these lists. And it came up. It's been on quite a few of my band name lists over the years, and it's just this word that stuck with me, man, from a Greek literature class I had in college. And I don't even, it might have been in the Odyssey or something, but it's the Greek word for a city in Egypt. And it just kind of stuck with me. And I always I kind of just liked how it looked, and I kind of liked how I pronounced it, which I think we call it Khemmis. And, someone asked me in New York, is it Khemmis? Because I'm going to put it on the radio and I want to say it right. I'm like, that's actually a good fucking question.
I can't think of any other way it would be pronounced.
Well, the only guys who would know.
Nope, you hung up. You're hanging up, buddy.
It sounds like he's dying.
Yeah, it does. Wow. I feel inclined to join him in his weird little ruse.
He's mannequining or whatever. Mannequin.
Well, so I do have an idea for you, Zach, though, which is you use the original Egyptian spelling and make a beer called that, and then nobody knows you're praising yourselves. Hey, you're back, Buke.
I was gonna say the only guys who know that reference would be the guys from Nile, or like Khemmis.
Yeah, exactly. Except they probably listen to it and they're like, "This is fucking bullshit."
Oh, Buke just dropped out. Hold on, let me add him back. Oh, there he is. You dropped out there. You're muted.
I'm just having some technical problems. I don't know what's happening. When we take a break,
Tell your daughter to stop pulling cords and pushing buttons.
She's like her daddy with ADD. She just can't stop fiddling with stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. I've got one more before we head into the pod. And it doesn't even technically relate to us, but I'd heard a possibility that you might be touring Europe this year. Do you think that's going to happen?
We hope so.
Yeah.
It's still up in the air. I mean, things are looking good, but it's just hard to know for sure at this point.
Is it well, let me ask you this, because I've never been even close to a European tour. Is it because you guys get all your schedules down? Is it like money? Is it like the label helps out a little bit, that kind of thing? All the above?
It's kind of all of that. Really.
Yeah. We're just waiting for the right. It's a lot of it's timing. Yeah. Like, work stuff, and family stuff, and just the timing of everything. And then also it helps to have an anchor, or two, something like that. So just for instance, like we recently had one of those anchors, offered to us. And we just couldn't we got like a European booking guy, and he's like, to really make this work, we should do it for X amount of time. I mean, it's all fairly new to us, but
yeah,
we're just trying to, we're going to get over there. It's a goal,
You'll get over there. No, you will. You'll get over there.
We're all stoked about, like playing St. Vitus and certain things like that. It's on the bucket list, and I think that we'd be pretty silly to.
But you know what though? I look at Dan here saying this, and I'm like, we already know what Zach told us about the decibel list. Do they have a 50-date tour or something already planned? And you're like, Europe, huh?
Yeah, no, we can't talk about that yet.
we would tell you if we couldn't talk about something. We'd just say, can't talk about that.
Yeah, can't talk about
that.
That's
fair enough.
Well, referencing what you're saying, who knows what could happen next year?
Yeah. Who knows?
All right.
Hey, guys, who contacted you to play the Decibel Metal Beer Fest?
I think it was Albert. From Decibel.
Okay, Albert, yeah.
Or maybe Alex, who's like his marketing.
Alex Yarde or Yard.
Yeah.
Is Albert the like editor-in-chief kind of guy, or is he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So does he kind of run the whole show? I mean, he's the editor, obviously, but I mean, is it also sort of his property? Do you know? Not that you
I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it seems that way, but
I'm just curious. I mean, it's because it's funny. I mean, like you guys are really starting to have a measure of success, and Decibel is a fairly visible magazine, and so I ask questions like that just because everybody out there in the music world is really piecing it together now. You know what I mean? Like you guys have to have jobs, and I totally appreciate that. And I think Decibel probably gets by on its own, but I'm just curious of what kind of a structure that is. So that's cool, though. I mean, that's cool.
They've been good to us, and they're also it's kind of metal magazines, published metal magazines on paper. There aren't really too many good ones in the United States.
I don't know. It may be the only one in all of North America at this point that's actually a physical magazine now.
That doesn't completely suck like that other one that I'm not going to mention.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I go to Britain for my metal magazines and Decibel.
Which Metal Hammer just dodged the chopping block.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I was going to mention that. I don't think I had it on the script, but
not just MJ, but like I think 3 or 4 different magazines actually.
That's all. Yeah, that's all under this umbrella of It's prog rock magazine, hard rock magazine. I think one's
classic
called.
rock.
They're actually good writers for those magazines.
I'm assuming like AOR is part of that too. I think that's another one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty funny because a couple years ago, I think it's Future Publishing sold these magazines, Metal Hammer being one of them, to Team Rock, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And I hated Team Rock because they completely dicked me over on my subscription. And it was a complete pain in the ass. I was like in the middle of a subscription when this happened, and all of a sudden it's telling me I don't have a subscription anymore, and I had to jump through so many hoops and nasty phone calls to get my subscription restored. So I just automatically hated them. So when they went out of business, I was like, ha! Fuck you. Other than the fact that I was like really bummed about Metal Hammer. But now that Future, the original owner, or at least the previous owner, has picked them back up again, I'm doubly happy that both Metal Hammer is still alive and that Future is the one that's running the show now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, I got one more extremely important question for Zach.
Yeah.
If
it's about hops, I'm going to be pissed.
I never get this, so yeah.
This is completely unrelated about anything metal or beer. However, Zach, do you trim your beard to look like an Amish guy, or is that the way it comes in? Because no. It's an important question.
Why?
That's how it comes in.
Okay, because I'm the exact same way. And I went to Afghanistan in 2001 for the military, and I grew a beard, and it looked like crap. And it looked it looked
So
awesome.
what are you saying about
They just told him his beard looked like crap.
And not unlike yours. I looked at
But everyone called me Brother Jebediah because they thought I was Amish, because I could only grow it back on my neck. Nothing came in like on my face, on my mustache, nothing. It was just like, it just came in the neck, and everyone called me either Brother Jebediah or Neckbeard. So I was just curious if that's
We just call him Kitty.
Or you did that on purpose.
Yeah. Well, there goes that collaboration beer now. Jeez.
We'll call it weird beer.
Weird beard.
beardless.
It's just so blonde, man.
That's right. Up close, his beard is less Amish. It's just real light up here. You want to see a bad beard? I just shaved mine about, what do you think, like 3 months ago? It was garbage. I can't believe these guys tolerated it for like 2 years. I tried to grow a beard, and it sucked. It's funny actually that the Decibel, the guy who did the art for the Decibel, I don't know, some Decibel article. What was that? It was just a review, maybe.
Yeah.
We were like the feature review, I think, for the album, this album, and then they did this cool caricature. You guys ever see that?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
very first review always has like a caricature. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, actually, let me grab it. It's right behind Zach's head. Hold on.
I don't know. Your guys' video is frozen where I'm looking at you. So
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. See, he captured how.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
that,
he did capture it. Look at that.
And for anybody who wants to Google it, you can quickly get a Google image of this fabulous beard in question, and it's that's just quite viewable. I think we've insulted your beards enough, so I'm just going to say it's out there if you want to see it.
Okay.
And that was more. Sorry, that was more insulting myself because I cannot grow a beard. It looked like total garbage.
I was trying to save face. Hey, quickly before we move on, last thing I'll ask. I can tell that you Dan. I don't have any ink because I'm a bigger guy and I don't think ink looks good on pale pasty guys like myself. But I noticed that you got sleeves. You go to a local artist, and Jack, do you have any tats at all?
Can you get it?
Yep, there you go. Covered. Yeah, covered.
We're actually the only like tattooed guys in the band.
Is that why they send you to interviews? They don't want the other guys. Look, we'd look really uncool if you guys win.
Zach and I actually we've been to the same tattoo shop here in town. There's some really good ones. But I'd say 90% of my tattoos were done here in Denver. I'm an older dude, so I've been getting them for a while. Some of them are from Chicago and other places, but yeah.
Well, I got lucky because the guy I started going to, Brian Thoreau, was originally when I was still living in North Texas, and he was tattooing out there, and then he moved to Denver about a year or two before I did, so I kind of followed him up here. So it's worked out pretty well.
Nice. All right. We're going to move on to the body of the podcast. And Dan and Zach are going to join us, at least until we run long and they get tired of being here. But before
So we got to go to Ursula.
Or Will makes fun of their eyes or something like that, or smile.
Greetings and salutations. I am Chuck.
And I'm Godless.
Formerly of the Metal Sex Podcast. You are listening to the Metalheads Podcast.
You know, someone mentioned earlier that it was odd that we had 2 PhD candidates in the band, but that's how they met.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah,
in the program. So,
hey,
whatever.
Thanks for joining us, gentlemen.
I think it's cool. It's nice to
guys are
sort
awesome.
of break the stereotype of metalheads being a bunch of dummies. You know,
we appreciate it too. Trust me. Like this band,
we're real overeducated.
Yeah, and it's just it's super easy to be in because everyone's like an adult, you know, and has a little education, has a little bit of perspective.
I've got my master's in technical communication.
Jesus
and then they've got their
Christ.
PhDs, and Dan's a fucking architect.
Yeah, it's the most well-adjusted band ever.
It's pretty great.
We'd be in the running, I bet.
Actually, you know what? Seriously, it shows though, because you guys are. We talked to a lot of bands, and a lot of them are normal guys, but almost more than any other band we've talked to, I'd like to hang out with you guys. Like, really, I mean, you just.
And likewise, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we want to hang out and drink beers and talk with people, you know.
And then you come on here, and Buke fucking brings you down to his stupid level. So.
Oh, fuck off. No, we all got real jobs too, and we've got various levels of professional jobs here in this panel. So it's nice. It's nice to talk to guys that are a little bit more like peers than these teenage kids telling us, "Yeah, we're gonna."
I'm sure when you guys were doing these shows. Yes, honey.
Great.
I'm sure when you guys are doing your shows, you look at.
Does she have a question for Khemmis Butte? Get her up here already, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
But you guys look around these bands and they're like, man, I'm sure having trouble finding jobs and stuff. You know, you guys definitely will never have a problem finding a job.
George, is this a new segment in the future? What's your higher education level? What degrees do you have?
Yeah, it's gonna be who is smarter, you or Buke, and we'll put them at like one of those, like, what's that show on TV? I can't.
Jeff, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Well, no, I was thinking
smarter than a Buke.
I was thinking of it's a local thing, like It's Academic or something like that.
Oh yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well,
what is your degree and how are you using it now? That would be the. Those English degrees, I'll tell you, really apply to breathing.
Yeah, philosophy. I'm really gonna rake it in, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
All right. Why don't we move on to our news? This first news item sort of surprised me and shocked me. Steve Grimmett, the singer for Grim Reaper, or now it's Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper, had to have his right leg amputated below the knee. That's rough. And apparently he was down in South America and got some sort of infection in his foot, and it just like spread rapidly.
Well,
and
he has diabetes,
right? But they tried to do surgery and save it, and it wasn't happening, and so they had to cut it off.
Maybe he can.
That happened not too long ago. Leslie West had the same thing.
Maybe they could get a band together.
Yeah.
The wheelchair brigade. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that, but boy, it's one thing to get your leg amputated below the knee. It's another thing to get it amputated below the knee in South America, man. I mean, I don't know. They probably say, like, here, take a couple swigs off this rum, and then we'll see what we can do. Yeah. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. So all the best to him.
He doesn't look that good, though. I mean, he doesn't look like he's taking very good care of himself.
No, he's
not to be judgmental.
Yeah. And so apparently Metallica's playing at the Grammys because
Norfest.
That's our the token metal band at these things anymore.
Yet another reason not to watch.
They're like, hey, we can't get Dave Grohl. Metallica, you know.
Hey, they said they were going to do something really special for it, so I'm curious to see what that is.
They're probably going to have some horrible chamber choir with them or something. I mean, it's just
they'll all switch and do the Spastic Children thing where they all switch instruments.
Yeah, you guys know the Spastic Children thing?
Well, you know, I read something recently, and I think it was a joke, but they're talking about how. They wanted Lars to do some singing, or Lars wanted to do some singing, or something like that. So
that feels like a joke.
Yeah, I think so.
He can barely talk.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Metallica, James Hetfield, why don't you take this one, Jay? You're the one who told me about it.
Yeah, he moved out of the Bay Area. He lives in Colorado, I think.
He moved to Vail.
to Vail, which is like
Yeah.
the
We were on it.
rich people can't afford to live in Vail. Like
Now,
so,
Jay, what was
Well,
your
yeah.
reasoning again? What you told me the reason he was leaving?
He said everybody here was too elitist, and I mean,
And
because
he's
James
moving
is
to
kind of a
Vail.
right winger now. He's got,
And so he moves to Vail, where all the
Well, yeah, where all the but he's a hunter and everything, and I think he felt judged here. But I guess I won't be running into him at the 7-Eleven anymore.
Yeah, but Jay, he lived up in the Marin Headlands. I could see that getting a little annoying after a while.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah! I used to live in Marin.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first moved into the house I was living in Berkeley, we moved in and there was people across the street and they were painting their fence, and we were like, hey, we're moving in next door and everything. And I was just like, hey, you painting your fence? And the guy goes, oh, don't worry, this is all non-toxic and everything. And I was like, I mean, that's how it is here, dude. It's like they expect you to come in and check on them. So, so more power to them. And I did actually. I have run into the guys from Metallica a few times. Not that this is going to cut down on that. And he probably still has a house here. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. We're joking about booking shows in Vail every weekend just so we can randomly catch them out at one.
Get them out.
Yeah. James was at our show.
We slay a set. Maybe you never know what could happen.
yeah.
Take a stab at it, man.
We
Exactly.
also
think about us for that opening slot, man.
We also joked
Hey,
about
they had the
lighting.
sword, They had
Yeah,
the
they
sword. They asked
Yep.
to come. So, I mean, and I'm not comparing you guys to the sword because I think you're better than the sword,
Yeah,
especially
if you guys do this, you better not come up with a shimmy at some point in your act, like the Sword is doing these days.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
hey,
see, we all love ZZ Top, but we're not trying to steal their moves.
Yeah.
or their music.
that is like one of the. I mean, we're not huge fans of theirs, but that is one of the disappointments of the website of this podcast, and they are trying to fucking be ZZ Top now, man.
Well, they are
Yeah.
Texans, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're from Texas.
I guess they can. If anyone gets a right to try.
Oh, sure. You could
No.
see it creeping in though before it happened. They did a cover of a ZZ Top song right before, like on the last album before the ZZ Top album.
Yeah, right. We actually joked also about if we couldn't get Hetfield's attention that way, like lighting a bag of dog shit on his fire on his porch.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hey, whatever it takes, man.
He called this shit.
And you put, and you put your CD inside it, so when he stomps on it, it all disperses and there's the CD, and he's like, "Hey, let me check that out."
No. You conveniently hang out, and you're like, "Oh man, some fucking prick did that," and then you sympathize with him.
Yeah.
Well, Well, maybe you'll get your
have a
chance.
Fire extinguisher.
If we-
What are the odds?
Yeah,
What are the odds? Yeah, I can't believe here I am. How far from Vail are you guys?
it's pretty far. I would say it's probably I don't know mileage, but it's
3 hours.
No, it's probably more like 2 when it's not ski traffic.
Yeah.
And Vail's like one of the coolest mountains in the country, as far as I know, for snowboarding and skiing. So the traffic up there can be brutal, but yeah, it's a couple-hour drive in normal traffic.
Like Yosemite here, you wouldn't expect to go to a natural wonder and sit in traffic, but you sure as fuck do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest earlier, but apparently Dave Mustaine is going to be there as well, and he's going to be pouring the Megadeth beer. They're not playing or anything. I guess he's just going to go and put in an appearance. So
We got to have that beer at St. Vitus this last weekend.
Dave,
yeah, we had it on the last episode.
I just almost grabbed one out of my fridge before sitting here.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
okay.
it.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
good.
That's good.
But knowing Dave, he's not going to be there the whole day pouring beer. You make him up for a photo op, slip into the back.
Yeah.
He's
Well-
not going to pour any beer. Like, there's no way. There's no way Dave Mustaine pour. He doesn't even pour his own beer. I'm sure. No, I should say.
He has a team of people for that.
No, you know what? Guys, wouldn't it fucking blow your mind, though? If you're like Dave was saying, he's not going to pour anybody a beer. And backstage, you guys turn the corner, David goes, here you go, guys.
That would be pretty incredible.
Knock him dead.
The reason I say that, and I don't know Dave Mustaine and I don't have any like preconceived notions, but he's earned having someone else pour him
Yeah, of
his
course.
beer.
Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Guys, imagine you're up on stage at the festival and you look over to the stage left or right, and there Dave is fucking watching you guys. That would be incredible.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Unless he looked terribly disappointed, then I'd rather.
Or lost. It was like, where the fuck?
He's just like,
Or better yet, if he does play, you can stand up on the right side of the stage and look terribly disappointed in what he's playing.
yeah,
Yeah. You're like,
he's used to that.
yeah.
Dave.
So
Hey, any bands, real quick, any bands at the festival you're looking forward to seeing?
Immolation for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fest is amazing. I'm looking forward to all of them, but I love Sleep. Like it's
yeah, I'll see
it's-
Sleep.
I wouldn't play music if it weren't for that band.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see Khemmis too.
I love Matt Pike so much.
I'm looking forward to go see Khemmis. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the before we set this up. That was one of the clinchers for me.
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah. I was like,
Crypt Sermon.
Khemmis going to be there.
Yeah.
Crypt Sermon and Sleep. Those are my three I'm going for.
Can we expect a new set list maybe by the time the festival is around? Or are you guys kind of rolling with the same ones you're doing now? Maybe do something special for it.
That's a good question. You know what? We won't do. It won't be special. It will be whatever we play on the Oathbreaker tour. Probably, almost 100%.
Probably,
because like he said, like we're gonna do that set, and then that's all we're gonna be. That's our job, right, for a couple weeks, and then he goes out of town. He's actually flying back for just a couple days, so we can jam. Then, so we can fly back out to Philly.
Wow.
Right.
So we probably, like we try pretty hard to be tight live, and so we probably won't play a song we hadn't played in a while.
Yeah,
and
you don't take any chances. Yeah.
I mean, we might surprise you, Buke, just because you seem interested in that.
This one's for Buke. This is
Buke. You're out there somewhere, wherever you are.
It's gonna sound like shit, but this one's for Buke.
This one's for Buke. No, it's what John and I. We were at the Opeth show at Radio City, and they played. What was it, John? Yeah, By the Pain I See in Others. John and I are losing our mind, but I left there thinking, you know what? Maybe they should not have played that one because it wasn't.
Okay, that's just fucking stupid, Buke, and you know that.
Yeah, I know. No, you know what? It sounded amazing. I'm sorry. I was trying to do a little chemist lying here, But yeah, I have to admit, I love your guys' set list. I had to ask because with you guys not opening with Above kind of blows me away, but that's what
we haven't gotten to the tour set list though, so you may not have seen the set list yet.
You're right.
Actually, we haven't settled on what it's going to be.
Yeah, they don't even know. They don't even. It's a surprise to them too.
Giving away yet?
I don't even belong. I'm not even in this band. It's like a real quick Seinfeld episode. You guys watch Seinfeld when Kramer's like the guy, the boss fires him. He's like, "Well, I don't even work here." Okay, guys, let's move on.
That Vita show, we were going to play Above the Water, but Phil broke his string on the last song. And
oh man,
we had rehearsed it as an.
You had one job, Phil.
No, he has two.
Two jobs. Yeah. I forgot to ask this during the interview, but you had Absolution in 2015, Hunted in 2016. So, are you going to break the streak here? Is there going to be an album this year at the end of the year? Are you working on anything?
We won't have an album, but we will have a couple of releases.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't really say.
Can't say anything yet.
That's cool.
But breaking news here on the podcast.
There's no.
We are the best podcast in the world,
We heard.
Yeah, nobody's going to hear it. Don't worry. You can say whatever you want.
2017 is a
double album.
It's looking busy, man. Like we already started to put some. We have some ideas in the bank. We've worked out some stuff actually, and we have a couple songs for a couple other things that Zach said. Hinted.
Movie soundtracks, things like that.
Yeah, that's right. I wish.
I did not ask you guys. I totally forgot to ask during the interview. Does Phil have any classically training for his singing at all?
No. Best story about the whole thing, man, is that Phil's a singer because no one else wanted to sing.
Sure.
Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. So I guess he's like, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a process. Like
does he also do the death metal vocals?
No, that's been.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Phil
worked his ass off.
His ass off. I mean,
but when you say it's been a process, that means there's a real embarrassing demo out there I'd love to hear.
There absolutely is. Yeah, it was at one point. It was the weak part of our band, honestly. And he worked so fucking hard, and I mean, to the point of like paying for like an online training session or sessions or program,
Sure.
Man, I mean, we can't say enough about the work he did because that's our signature now. His voice is
without a doubt.
So anyway, sorry to get off.
No, it's all right. That's the kind of inside information we like.
Yeah. So moving on, an Iron Maiden announced a U.S. tour, and it's going to be starting in our area at Bristow, Virginia, at the Jiffy Lube Live. And that's June 3rd. So I don't know.
You get your oil and see Iron Maiden. at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you kind of need you kind of need an oil change because the time you start heading towards Jiffy Lube Live, and the time you actually get there, your car needs a fucking oil change.
I didn't honor that joke enough. You can get an oil change and see Iron Maiden at the same time. God, our stadiums are named the lamest shit these days, dude.
Well, before that, it was Nissan Pavilion.
Okay. We used to have Comfort Dental amphitheater. That was the worst.
Out here, they're all Sleep Train amphitheaters. Yeah. Sleep Train is a local mattress people. They have Sleep Train amphitheater. We got like 2 of them. It's fucking ridiculous. We're going to the Sleep Train, bros. Maiden.
So Maiden is not playing Denver, which is a crime because our whole band went to the last Maiden show, and we had a blast. And it's not they should think it's a crime. It's a crime, for us. Yeah, it's a bummer. It was great. We had the worst seats too. They were awful. It was a huge it was a Pepsi Center, not Jiffy. You could drink a Pepsi while you watch Iron Maiden. Mm-hmm. But our seats were like pretty close to the stage, which was nice. But we were backs against the wall in the highest row in the Pepsi.
I've been there.
Wow. It actually worked out. It worked out pretty good. Yeah.
What was which tour was that?
Just this last one.
Yeah, the Book of Souls.
Okay, the Book of Souls thing. Yeah. I had a buddy that used to go to shows, and he always had the worst seats, and he always was such a positive guy. And he'd go like this. He'd go, on the floor. Okay, so like there's the floor seats, and then right behind that there's that thing that's a little bit higher. So like those are better seats, and then behind that there's like this aisle, and it's like the first row of the bucket seats that go up. He goes, we were right behind that. So he's like slowly building until you realize he was in the fucking parking lot. You know what I mean?
That's great. We did find redeeming things about the seats, but yeah, that's a bummer. We're gonna miss Iron Maiden. Maybe
they are coming here. I'm grateful to say, and I didn't think we'd get a chance in this tour, so I'm looking forward to it. And they're coming to Oakland, which is just hop, skip, and a jump from my house.
Yeah. When was the last time that happened, Jay? What, back in the '80s in Oakland itself?
The Maiden in Oakland?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, it's been a long time, dude.
Long time.
I mean, I've seen them every tour since like Brave New World, and it's always.
I think the last time they played Oakland was when I was in high school there. I mean, that's how long it's been.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. So that was totally. I was actually
what do you guys
shocked.
Think of the new
Book of Souls?
Yeah, Zach, what do you guys think of Book of Souls?
It wasn't it's not.
Thank you, Dan. Come on, I don't like it.
All right. We're not crazy about it.
I don't know.
I am.
Some killer tracks too. Yeah. I think my main problem with like the last few Maiden albums is that they have this tendency to like repeat the chorus 10 fucking times in a song.
That's a common complaint.
Like, man, all right. Like
plus a sort of pretty bass solo intro, build up. Yeah, I mean they've got a little pattern they're doing now for sure.
Yeah, just like, but I still like it.
But I actually listened to it like this month for sure again, and it's a listenable album for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so Nurgle of Behemoth has this solo folk band called Me and the Man, and they just released the video for the first song, My Castle is Black.
I watched that.
You did? Yeah.
Wasn't it kind of weird? Yeah. I dig it though. It was kind of like Johnny Cash meets Nick Cave.
Totally. Yeah. And really get the Nick Cave influence.
Check this out. Very Nick Cave.
It's interesting, yeah. I mean, he's an artist, and so it's not going to be anything. I mean, most of the 15-year-old metalhead kids are going to be fucking deep disappointed, dude. But if you've got a broader palette, you might, yeah. Plus, it's all about he still seems to write about the subjects that matter to him,
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I saw them on the Satanist tour some few months back. It was like one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw that the first go round of that, and it was awesome.
Great, yeah.
And the other thing is, he obviously has good choice in decorating, because who would paint their castle any other color?
Exactly. It's like, John Mellencamp would probably have a little pink castle, but...
It reminds me of just a little bit. There's this guy who does acoustic versions of metal songs, and he's just on YouTube, and he did an acoustic version, a real creepy, weird, old-sounding acoustic version of In League with Satan, the Venom song, if you guys know Venom at all. And it's fucking bitchin'. It is so good. Dude, it sounds Chimera. Like Dracula recorded it in 1932 or something, you know what I mean? But it's really good. It's really fucking good.
All right. So Matt Barlow has a new project. I had no idea this was coming. It's called Sentinels with Jonah Weingarten of Pyramaze. And I don't even know if it's metal. The description said cinematic arrangements, piano, and thunderous percussion.
It remains to be seen. I'm not sure.
It sounds metal-ish, but not necessarily metal. So I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what that sounds like.
Metalish in the same vein that Trans-Siberia is. metal.
Well, that's not really the same thing, but kind of.
No, but that description makes you seem like it's in the same vein.
Well, I didn't see anything about guitars. That's what I'm like. Cinematic makes me think keyboards, and then piano, and then thunderous percussion, not necessarily drums, percussion. So that could be, timpani or whatever, that sounds big and thunderous.
Machine guns.
So,
we're all huge fans of Barlow here. He's joined the podcast a couple of times.
Yeah.
I've already talked to him. He said he would come on and support this. Easily, like we said repeatedly, one of the best voices in metal.
Yeah.
So.
And a great guy.
Great guy.
And a cop.
And a cop.
Great
guy.
Great
cop.
Yeah, and a great cop.
We got it all covered.
How do you know that?
Well, he actually works only about an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. And I've driven through.
He's never pulled these guys over.
He works in this little town, and we pass it going to the beach and back. And I'm all like, let's do something illegal so we get pulled over.
So Barlow can sign my ticket.
Yeah, and so I'm like, we drive through there. I'm like looking for police cars going, where's Barlow?
George, at the last rest stop before you get to his town, you're smashing in your back tail light just to make it easy.
Yeah,
George sees that.
I'm thinking more extreme, like let's go rob a liquor store, something, something. To
George
get
looks
attention.
in the rearview mirror, sees that nice red hair, and George is like, "Oh baby,
I'm speeding up."
Until he gets his ass dragged into the station.
Yeah.
What was that, Dan? You were starting to say something?
I said he's thinking, "Oh, I'm so glad I stole this ice cream sandwich." Don't get pulled over by small town cop John Barlow.
Yeah. So, being that this is the first episode of the year, and things get kind of slow around the holidays, we are now starting to see a lot of upcoming release dates for albums for 2017. And pretty much the majority of the rest of the news is album announcements. So I'm just going to kind of roll through these. If you have any comments, just throw them in. Paul Bearer is getting ready to release Heartless, their new album, on March 24th. I think we're all pretty much looking forward to that one.
Dude, I have been listening to the EP more and more for some reason. I mean, you can listen to it in 15, 20 minutes or whatever, but and I'm convinced it is the transitional piece that gets into this next little phase, because they're talking about I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a little description of the album that could scare you that they were about to pull a sword here, but they're not. I don't think. I think it's going to be more like what we see on the EP, which is great. And by the way, he does a fucking kick-ass Peter Steele imitation, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kind of blew me away, man. Yeah. I'm a big Typo fan, so it was like,
me too.
Oh shit, yeah.
And the EP, cool. Is it worth mentioning that the EP came out on $20 Spin?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I thought it was profound. Was it?
And they chose to do Over and Over, which is a very overlooked Sabbath tune. My faith level is high on this new release. Let's just put it that way.
Excellent.
Yeah, man, we can't wait.
I'm interested.
Hey, Zach and Dan, speaking of Paul Bearer, I know here on the podcast we compared you guys to Paul Bearer. Do you guys see the similarity, or do you get do other venue or other magazines or whatever interview people say that there's a lot of similarity between you guys and Paul Bearer? Do you get that?
This interview is over.
No, man, we get that comparison a lot, and like I get it. I just think none of us think about the band similar to Paul Bearer, so it's a little bit weird for us. But I love that band, so it's flattering for me.
But you know what though? It's a lazy comparison, because I have to fully admit to you, it's a comparison I made until I listened to your record more, and they're completely different. And I was like completely wrong on that. Buke, and I'm this being the second record, and Buke was like, "Dude, go back and listen to it again." And I was like, "Oh, okay, oops."
I think you guys have
got
much better
a
production.
Thing going. There's some much different than production, though. I mean, you have this Maiden element to your stuff. There's a lot that's different about you.
Especially like the traditional metal and like rock elements, I think those aren't there in Paul Bearer, right?
Exactly.
For the most part, But we all love that band, so
they are great. Yeah, we love them too.
Yeah,
they are.
No doubt. I'm glad that went that way, because Jay, like you, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I think it's kind of a lazy comparison. Yeah. We play slow, and I guess we probably are both down tuned. Clean vocals. That's one of the ones that really people get hung up on.
But it's like saying Iron Maiden is a Judas Priest cover band or something. I mean, it's just bullshit. It's just like, come on.
Well,
dude.
Back in the 80s, they were always playing up the Iron Maiden versus Judas Priest in the magazines. Now it's going to be Paul Bearer versus Khemmis.
which camp are you in?
Yeah.
Well, that's like we played with them in August. It was cool. Like,
It was awesome.
If I was like a clean vocal heavy music fan, like I would have loved it. I was at that show. It's pretty sweet. But, you know,
were you there really?
Yeah, I was there, at least in spirit. But yeah, it was cool. It was really neat, and it was like the first time that we got to do that. And after all the comparisons, Absolution, I think, probably had even more of those comparisons, and because they were already pretty well established. But after all the comparisons, and then the fact that we got to do that, it was like, this is really cool.
But you guys know what I think? Sorry, Jake.
Well, just curious if you talk to them a little bit. You guys get to know them.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, cool guys.
Yeah, got a cool group
They're great.
picture. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
They were like, let's do this again. So hopefully we'll get to do that again.
Was it up by
cool
you?
tour.
The show was by Denver, or
Denver, yeah. Small venue, sold out in like a day.
They had a night off from that Baroness tour, and so they did a Denver day.
Yeah. You guys should tour together. To be honest,
Yeah, that would
be
cool.
a fucking killer tour.
Imagine a tour. Imagine
We'll take care of it.
Imagine Khemmis, Paul Bearer,
Sponsored by the
Bono
Metalhead
Lord.
Podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So next release, I just saw this one scroll across my screen from Jay. Trollfest has an album coming out February 24th.
Yeah, if you don't like Trollfest, there's something wrong with you.
I don't know.
They're like this slightly funny heavy metal band from Norway, but I just love these guys to death. Sort of a heavier folky metal. I can't explain it. You got to go look at them. They're hilarious.
Finn Troll's evil cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, but they actually make great records. They make amazingly good records. I love these guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now on to stuff that people care about now.
Going back to the Doom, Leif Edling's The Doomsday Kingdom is getting ready to release their self-titled debut on March 31st via Nuclear Blast. They put out an EP, I think it was last year, that was kind of cool. And looking forward to that. And
Are they going to be at Vodka's?
no, I don't think so, unfortunately. Well, Candlemass is going to be.
That's right. Okay.
Candlemass.
Yeah, well, that.
And-
Hence my.
And Leif's other band, Avatarium, are getting ready to work on their third album as well, which I'm definitely looking forward to that. Pretty much anything he does is kind of cool and worth checking out.
Yeah. Is he touring? Isn't Candlemass? What's Candlemass playing? Oh,
MDF.
okay. And also
Vakken.
Copenhagen. That's where we saw them, right? But
They're on their latest lead singer too.
But they're going to be doing Nightfall.
Yeah. I know, that's so killer, man.
I'm like, man, it would be so cool if they're like, surprise, Messiah's going to sing today.
I'd take Rob
Absolutely.
Lowe back.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
And Memoriam, featuring members of Bolt Thrower and Benediction, is going to be releasing For the Fallen in March as well. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And they're also playing Vakken.
Yeah, that'll be. I'm excited to check out that album.
Yeah.
You ever been to a Vakken, guys?
Never have.
A couple of guys here in the pod, George and Jay, are going next year.
We're going.
This year, yeah.
This year.
All in.
And the new self-titled Obituary album is also releasing in March. Look at Buke's face shaking his head. I don't get it. You're the death metal guy, and you don't like Obituary. That doesn't make any sense.
The vocals just kill me. His voice, I can't stand his voice.
I said that like 25 years ago. Now I think his voice is incredible. So I'm looking forward to that.
I've liked him from the beginning. And by the way, I keep saying this every episode. The new Brewheads column with John Tardy, the vocalist, frontman for Obituary. He was kind enough to answer some questions about Hopped and Half beer, so that will be done any day now. I'm very close to finishing it.
You have to say that with any day now.
Any day now.
While we're on the concept of, and I meant to bring this up earlier, I'll be brief, but on vocalists, and especially that have aged or not aged well, I saw Udo Dirkschneider last night, and he was fucking amazing. They did just nothing but Accept songs, and I'm not the hugest Accept fan, but I do like them, and they did all the songs I care about. But they played 25 songs, 2.5 hours, maybe it was 30 songs, and they did never stop to even tune, and he sounded amazing all night long. It was fucking awesome. So
now is that because they stayed in tune, or did they just play out of tune?
Going, man. Let's get back to the bus. No, and one of the T-shirts they were selling had this tour has been going on for months. Was 150 dates. So and he's 64 years old. So I put my stamp of approval on that tour. I went as a kind of lark and walked out having had a great time.
Awesome.
Get your money's worth.
I think most of us on the podcast can agree the new Tau Cross album, tentatively titled A Pillar of Fire, which is due this summer, is something that we're pretty much all looking forward to, I think.
I would agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yep.
You guys had the first one? You had the first record?
Yeah.
That's good, wasn't it? It's a great record. It was a real favorite.
For sure.
last year.
Yeah, it kind of didn't know what to expect, Like, I don't know.
It's a weird mishmash of guys.
It's like Amoebics,
Exactly.
Voivod, what?
Yeah, but it came out great. It was a real favorite here last year.
Yeah.
It was. I basically just like try to take little tidbits from Zach because he listens. He's dedicated to listening to not only new stuff but like good stuff. I guess So he'll like rattle off a list, and that was one of the ones that I happened to capture and checked it out. What was it, a couple years ago? And it was a cool record.
Mm-hmm.
Very plus price, yeah.
And Valenfire is getting ready to release their third album this summer, and it's called Fear Those Who Fear Him. So if you fear him, then you should fear. Wait, I don't get it, but I'm sure it'll be cool.
I think it's this, George. Many and an enemy has an enemy. Does that help? That would. Okay.
Well, it's like if there's some dude and a bunch of people fear him, why shouldn't you fear him, not the people that fear him? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's like crowds can be out of control, and they fear somebody, and so I don't know. Anyway,
maybe it's the super religious people who have Jesus Christ or God in awe and fear him and fear the people who put them up on the pedestal.
There you go.
Bring your actual fucking logic into this conversation.
Yeah.
See, I thought we were dealing with Deathfest, George, there for a minute. Woo. Hey, you ever notice how weird that sounds? Valenfire. Sorry.
Was Valenfire in the Decibel tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them, man. They actually put on a rockin' show.
Cool.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen them, they're really fun to watch.
Yeah, that's cool. That's Gregor McIntosh from Paradise Lost.
I love these fucking guys. Yeah.
And
it's just like you're watching the dude from Paradise Lost. You're just like, oh yeah. It was
I keep trying to find the vinyls. I can't find them at a relatively easy, good price.
Yeah. And Winter Sun, probably one of the most highly anticipated albums this year. Not the sequel to Time Part 1, but The Forest Seasons is the name of this new album. So I don't know what that's going to be like. I guess he finally got his sauna, though, so they could finish an album. Because, the Finns got to have their saunas. Am I right, Yanni? Huh?
Yeah.
And definitely looking forward to that, though. And there's also
I think they call it sauna.
Sauna.
There you go.
Sauna.
Well,
hey, do you know what the actual name of Finland is in Finnish language?
Is it Finland?
It's closer to sauna. It's Suomi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Soumi.
Yeah, I've seen that in Finnish album titles, particularly Impaled Nazarene.
Netherlands is Der Nederlands. Oh, there you go.
All right, then.
I'm not making this shit up.
It means lower land.
Is that what it means, Will?
Yeah, Nieder means lower.
Bringing the
Land
fucking
is the same.
Look at this. This podcast this is the smartest episode yet.
Oh,
man,
we'll get any number of.
I got to pretend I have a master's degree every now and again.
All right, and the last two upcoming releases, Tombs is working on a new album, and we love those guys. And for your pirate metal needs, Ailstorm is also working on a new album. All right,
Go ahead, Jay.
Where's the crickets thing? What happened to your sound effects? Slack it.
Yeah, I turned it off so I could text. Hold on, here we go. Nope.
Mastodon has a new album coming out this year.
Yeah, there's not a release date yet, though. They are starting to put some teasers up about it, though.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're actually kind of funny little videos they're doing. I can't talk about it, basically, is what they're saying. It's a joke.
Immolation's got a new one.
Yeah.
Coming out this year.
Yep.
Is Mastodon teasing you because they're teasing you that it'll be metal, or what are they teasing?
It's not going to be metal. The one guy says he hates metal.
I know. That's my
Get
point.
off Mastodon.
Yeah.
You.
All right, let's move on to our new releases, of which there are few.
This week's new releases, here they are. Spend your hard-earned money now.
The first one is the new Black Anvil album, As Was. And wow, these guys have certainly, ramped things up a bit.
Oh, totally.
Yep, New York black metal, good stuff. Everybody on the pod so far seems to have given it their stamp of approval, I think. Well, maybe Will hasn't heard it yet.
I listened to a little bit of it. I'm not familiar with Black Anvil, but I did check it out, and I like it. I need a further review before I purchase it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with their earlier material. And it was really more just sort of black metal, not exactly your typical black metal, but pretty close to, not too far off the beaten path in terms of black metal. And when I was listening to this, I was like, look at all those clean vocals. I swear there's a part in there that I could have mistaken for a Devin Townsend song. So it's kind of proggy, kind of a lot of clean stuff on there, as well as the harsh vocals. It's definitely a big step from the last album, and definitely worth checking out.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're trying something new.
Yeah.
The band Sanhedrin that we played with in New York, their guitar player plays in Black Anvil. So,
right on.
This is such a small world.
Jeremy, we met him, and it was cool, like, because I hadn't listened to Black Anvil at all until, I obviously had heard their name and knew who they were. And then it was like, he was such a good dude, and Sanhedrin was such a good band. Like, he's a stellar guitar player. I was like, well, I probably should listen to his other band because he rips. So, and I liked it, I think I probably made it through once, but it was cool.
I think the new one will be a little more interesting too, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like George says, it goes to some new, different, interesting places. It's more like listening to an Enslaved album than a Dark Throne album. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Next one is the new Emptiness album, Not for Music. That pretty much describes it.
Ouch.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I in fact, I find it very interesting, and officially, my opinion is still out on this one. It's, they used to be a pretty straightforward black metal band. A couple of the guys are enthroned. And I've liked them in the past, and their last album still had a black metal element to it, but they'd really started pulling in this like weird avant-garde drone stuff.
Shoegaze.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's all right. And so I listened to this one, and there's really not much metal about it, other than that it's dark and evil. But it's not particularly black metal, but there's like harshish vocals that are more spoken than screamed or sung, but it's kind of cool. So I'm still trying to figure out where this sits, but on the whole, I think it's kind of cool. This next one I finally just heard yesterday. I really loved their last album. It's a band called Helheim. They're a black metal band, like a Viking-ish black metal band from way back, and they've got a new album that I don't know how it's pronounced, but I'm going to go with Land Warrior, just because that J in the middle there, towards the end, I'm going, it's a Yar. So we'll just call it Land Warrior. That'll get you close enough. And that is a really cool album. It's not going to be for Buke, because it's not in English, but if you like black metal with, like a Viking aspect to it, definitely cool. Check it out.
Right on.
And finally, the brand new Creator album, Gods of Violence, technically not out till next week. We've got the promo though, and it's pretty cool. I'm gonna.
I like it. I think it's.
Go ahead.
I think it's better than the last two. In all honesty, it's. They're doing this catchy thing. You don't like it? You don't like it, Will?
Yeah, I thought you liked it.
No, I love it. No, I do. But Hordes of Chaos is by far their best.
You liked it better than
Hordes?
Yeah. Well, that was 2002 or something.
2009.
2009. Sorry, I was thinking of the Art of Rebellion or whatever it was. But they, have you noticed that their choruses have got kind of a monomarthy?
A little bit, yeah.
And that's my criticism. I feel like the edge and some of the songs, the edge is slightly gone, but like
it's heavy though. It's heavy as all get out.
It's definitely it's great, and I can guarantee it will be on my year-end list already from listening to the promo. What's the single that they have playing on Sirius XM right now?
Satan is Real.
Something with Satan. Satan is Real. There's definitely like a cheesy chorusy element in the middle of it where I'm like, if you just change that chorus, it'd be a brutal song.
But dude, the verse riff is just fucking insane. It's fucking cool.
No, I love it. Creator's absolutely one of my favorite bands in the entire world. I love them. This is a great album. It's kind of like Testament. Like Testament put out a great album. It's just like there's just a few elements of like it's great.
Almost there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost there. So I feel like this one it's a great album. It's almost there. My high bar for them is either Extreme Aggression way back when I was a teenager, or you may hear that again later, or Hordes of Chaos 2009, which was
Pleasure to Kill isn't
that's one of my favorite. Pleasure to Kill.
It's probably my single favorite.
And Renewal. I'm just waiting for somebody to contradict me on that one.
No, we're going to leave you all by yourself, buddy. You're going to throw something like that out, you're going to have to do it.
I'm not calling it one of their best, but I do like the Weird Album's Renewal and Endorama. I like them. They're good for what they are.
Outcast is another one.
Yeah. All right. So this is the time where we get into our list. We're going to do things a little bit differently this time. If you're on Facebook, you've probably seen people posting a lot of these lists lately, and it's the 10 albums that made a lasting impression on you as a teenager. And I've seen this so much on my Facebook feed, I was like, you know what? We should do this. We do lists. We should do this. So I asked everybody to go ahead and make their top 10 list of albums that made a lasting impression on them as a teenager. And instead of counting them down like we normally do, because there's 10 of them, it's going to take for frickin' ever for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's too many of us to do it like that. So basically, mine's alphabetical. And we're going to go through each person. Nice. We'll start with Dan and Zach. We'll move on to John, then Will, then Jay, Buke, and myself, and we'll just read our list.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah.
So,
okay. It looks like we're making some practice changes anyway.
Yeah. Changes happen all the time. It's okay.
Yeah, mine was been edited.
No, I think it's probably going to benefit this.
Okay.
Feels sick. All right. So this was a really hard list for me to make. I didn't think it would be.
Some of the big thing about this list too is how old you are. I'm 34. Okay,
you're a baby.
Exactly. I'm a baby. So, and be honest, I did not listen to a lot of music at all.
Yeah, I figure you got into metal like probably at the very end there, like 18, 19.
I did. I didn't listen to music till then.
And it stands to reason that there should be non-metal music on these lists.
Right.
So,
trying to fit ABBA into your list ain't gonna work, George.
If they're,
I actually didn't go there, like, because I kind of like tried to focus on stuff that was like hard rock or metal.
Yeah.
That influenced me during this time, because there was a lot of other stuff influencing me at this time, like Technotronic. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so
your Rhythmics, Wham,
good stuff.
It could also influence you in a negative way.
Yeah, I have 4 Eurythmics records, man.
I love Eurythmics.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I saw Annie Lennox in concert, man. It was awesome.
I love Annie Lennox. He's rad. Okay, so I kind of put these chronologically, and I also cheated, so fuck you guys. So here we go.
All right. Well, hey, that's metal.
Yeah. Neil Young, Harvest.
Yes.
John's nipples just got hard.
No.
His prog nipples.
My mom, it was on my mom's record collection, and it just fucking floored me. And it was probably before my teenage years, to be honest, but loved it. So Black Sabbath, the only one in my parents' record collection was that the only Black Sabbath record. And where I'm cheating here is at the same time, a record that really I was listening to, like, in combination with that and having my mind blown, was Uriah Heep's self-titled album. So those two freaked me the fuck out. Sorry, Will, swearing in front of your daughter.
She can't hear. She doesn't have the headphones on.
Number 3,
she can't hear. She doesn't have headphones on. Don't worry.
Okay. Led Zeppelin 4. I'm sorry, dude, but When the Levee Breaks is the heaviest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Jay feels awkward.
I'm like,
if you don't think John Bonham hits the drums hard, and that beginning of that song, just it rules. So I had to keep that one in there. Ride the Lightning was the first Metallica record that I ever heard. My buddy's big brother had it on cassette, and we were like, hey, check this shit out. So that's on there. Mm-hmm. In that same kind of like time frame, Anthrax, Among the Living was one that I played until it broke, and I bought a new one and I played that cassette until it broke. And also another cheater, I'm going to save the same spot for this one, is Testament, The New Order. That was basically like Among the Living was in the tape deck, Testament was in the tape deck, and some Metallica cassettes. Mm-hmm. And then, so There's that. Number 6 is King Diamond Conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
This was kind of my first venture into that style of music. There's this dude in junior high who actually used to bully me, which is bizarre because I'm not a small dude, and it didn't work real well for him. Let's put it that way. He tried to bully me, let's put it that way, but he always wore these King Diamond shirts, and even having a little bit of metal in my background, like that guy's freaked me the fuck out. So I was like, I gotta check this stuff out, and that was the first, not my favorite King Diamond album by any means, but the first one I listened to.
Yeah.
Wow. So your King Diamond experience was facing your bully. That's how you got into it. I love that.
That's so weird,
right?
Man.
Face your fears, man.
He was like, I'm a fairly passive person generally speaking, and this guy would just kind of, he's always trying to get me.
Yeah.
And finally he did, and I slammed him up against his locker, and I'm like, I like your T-shirt,
Is it Zach? Is that how that story ends?
Yeah, well, that's really appropriate because if you know anything about me, I'm a King Diamond nut.
Yeah.
What's your favorite King Diamond album?
Oh my God.
Say that. Say that.
To me, it's Abigail, but he struggles with
That's
that.
mine. Abigail's mine.
I think it's Abigail, man.
Them is
Did
really
you catch the tour this year?
yeah.
That was fucking great. He was great.
So I flew to Texas to see him. I saw him like 3 times on that tour.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, and now we're gonna see him at Psycho, so that's great too.
Awesome.
Number 7's a weird one. Iron Maiden Live After Death.
Oh, of course. It was huge when that came out.
Yeah, it was. I had I grew up in my mom was like this crazy Bible thumper, so I couldn't actually have Iron Maiden stuff in the house. So I would get mixtapes, and then she would find it. So my whole Iron Maiden background was one song that some guy put on a mixtape for me until she tossed him, whatever.
That's funny because I had a friend, his mom was Jehovah's Witness, and so he was not allowed to have any rock music, let alone metal.
Yeah.
And
the crazy thing is that, sorry, George, go ahead.
He would steal his mom's Bible cassettes and give them to me, and I would dub metal albums on them for him so that they were camouflaged in the house.
Yeah. So anyway, this album, for whatever reason, was just this huge. It just put it all together for me. And also, as far as the live record goes, at that period of time, it was one of the best live records I had heard.
That's probably my favorite all-time live album.
It was great.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Alive and Dangerous?
Yeah. No.
Absolutely. Yeah. Agreed.
Hey, Dan, how old are you?
I'm 41.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do I got? Number 8, 9 Inch Nails Broken.
Oh, that's a good one, dude.
/ Ministry, Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I grew up in Chicago in industrial music. I listened to a lot of
Ministry Town.
It was hard for me to leave bands like Leather Strip and Hal Yob and all that off of this list. But those two at the same time, same thing, back to back, just really spoke to me. This one's kind of funny. You guys are going to laugh at me, but it's Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger.
It's a good album.
No, nobody's going to laugh here. When I put freaking Power Metal and I put Glory Hammer on my end of year list last year,
Nobody laughed.
Nobody laughed.
Well, you guys would be wrong if you did, actually, because it's actually a fucking great record. And for that era,
Thank you. We're all friends here. This is a circle of trust, Dan and Jack. Circle of trust.
I also have to tell you, Buke, you remember that moment wrong. I think people did laugh when you said Glory Hammer. I'm looking at you, John.
Yeah, you're muted, John.
in his mouth.
Yes, I laughed. I was muted. Sorry.
Will's been held hostage. He's not getting ducked.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on there?
It's actually, in that era with the grunge label and all that shit, it's a super heavy record.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a metal record.
If you hadn't revisited it, it's awesome. It's great. So number 10, Caius, Blues for the Red Sun.
Definitely.
I think it came out, when did it come out? 91, 92, something like that.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And I probably didn't really discover it until, maybe 93, 94. But it was like a trajectory change for me, I think, really got a lot into that style of music at that point. So that was a big one for me.
It was a trajectory change in general, and I would go so far as to argue Sleep, who you mentioned previously, and you guys. Honestly, none of what's going on now. Caius was the root of all of that. A lot, and there was nobody else doing that at that time. That kind of dug up the Sabbath thing a little bit again. So even before Sleep, they were doing it, and then it kind of exploded from there.
Yeah, man. So that was a big one for me.
Cool.
That's it. Did I get 10? That's 10.
That's 10.
But I'm gonna
Nailed it.
Zach, what you got?
All right. So I have to preface this with I have an older brother, 4 years older than me, who's also into metal and worked at a record store. So he influenced my taste a lot.
So there's a tons of stuff coming through.
Also a cop.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah, but ZZ Top was an omnipresent thing for me growing up. So that's a thing that resides over everything. I'm not including it on the list, but
oh, you're not. All right.
Yeah. So
it's like Air. You don't include Air on the list.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
fair enough.
So I should say I'm from Texas originally, so it is like Air. Like it's every
and tamales.
Yep. But the thing, Master of Puppets, number one. That's what got me into metal. My brother gave me the tape and was like, "Check this out."
Mm-hmm.
Check this out.
Yeah. From there, it was kind of natural progression to Slayer, Rain and Blood, and then Danzig, Lucifuge.
Nice.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Wow. Over the first one?
Yeah. I like them. I'm a huge Danzig fan, so most of it. But yeah, the second one really hooked me. I don't know. I think.
Was it the one that got to you first?
No,
like you got it first, or you had the first one?
I heard the first one and I thought it was cool. I liked like Twist Decay, and there was something about the second album where it just, I don't know.
It's bluesier.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was the blues bass, that like really hooked me in. And then from there, I kind of split in two directions, but In Flames Horacle.
Yes.
That was a big deal to me. And even the Depeche Mode cover, Everything Counts on there, was like, that was my introduction to Depeche Mode. So
yeah.
Okay, cool. And so I got really into that after. And then I started getting into more extreme shit. And it started with black metal. So Mayhem, Death Crush, but De Masiris more importantly. That really bowled me over. I never heard anything that sounded that crazy and insane. Just gave me chills. And then I started getting into death metal side. Entombed, Left Hand Path was a big deal. The drumming on that album is ridiculous. And I was really into the Nihilist demos too. So those two things at the same time were a really big deal. And then I kind of started branching out, influenced stuff into more like the goth side almost. But I heard the Cure Pornography album, and that's still a big deal to me. That album, I think it's one of the most depressing.
I'm not familiar with it. I've heard of it. I just haven't listened to much of them.
Not a big Cure.
Disintegration is great too. They fit. A metal guy can get away with that as a high school kid.
Yeah, I really like the early stuff.
There's something about Pornography that's just so heavy. I mean, it's unrelentingly.
Out of context, that was an amazing sentence.
Yeah, I'm making a clip out of
that. Yeah, I mean that's still a big deal to me. And right around the time I was getting into that, I heard ISIS put out Oceanic. And I was like cool on that band. And then I saw them live in a club that held about, I don't know, maybe 100 people. And they were touring for that album, and it was so fucking heavy.
Yeah, one of the best records of the 90s, dude.
Their live shows are amazing.
That was post-90s. That was out in 2000, early 2000s.
Yeah, I think like right around 2002 or something.
And I was going on my way to see them on that tour. They came and played San Francisco with Mogwai, and they opened for them, played for like 30 minutes.
Yep.
But I went and I introduced myself to him. I used to write to Aaron Turner back and forth just to tell him how much I fucking loved them, man. That record is so good.
It's and seeing them live really blew me away. It was just way heavier than I thought it was going to be. And then I got kind of two outliers, but around the same time that sent me off in different directions. Tragedy Vengeance. That album is great. I got to see them play a basement in Denton, Texas for an absolutely insane, rabid crowd, and that kind of blew me away. And then Magnolia Electric Company, What Comes After the Blues, not metal at all, but Jason Molina is a big deal to me, and listen to everything that guy's put out.
Awesome.
It's real sad when he died. I got to see them play live once in Texas before that, so.
How did he die? What was he?
He was an alcoholic and died from that, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Alcohol-related illness. So that's my list.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move on, I got to ask something of Princess Will here. Is that a tiara on your head?
Yeah, there's a tiara on my head. There's all kinds of stuff on my head.
We'll start your list, but I won't be gone long.
I'm being taken hostage. Please help me.
All right.
All right, John.
John, yeah.
All right. So, being that I bring this up all the time, the oldest guy on the podcast, a lot of my stuff was because I was raised actually on radio. It may be a journey title for an album, but that's the truth. I mean, I grew up on FM. In the
And a
late
lot of these were recorded on those old cans you had to spin.
Well, maybe a couple of them. Yes, a couple. But so everything was FM based for me in the late 70s, early 80s. So the first 5 are albums that influenced me, and then the other 5 I actually got when they came out. And we just tore them to shreds, listening to them so much. But first off was Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath from Black Sabbath. That's the album that got me into metal. And I really kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm doing my list and everybody's leaving. All right.
We talk too long. Everyone has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. All right. I do have a Led Zeppelin album. It's not Led Zeppelin 4, but it's Physical Graffiti. In My Time of Dying is just, to me, their best song, and I always thought that was just such a powerful song. So. An album that got me wanting to go to concerts when I first heard this, and George will appreciate this one. It's a live album from Sammy Hagar from the late 70s called All Night Long. There's just so much energy in that album, and the lyrics are campy as anything.
But Sammy Hagar is awesome.
His band was so good, they're former Montrose guys and everything, so I was always really big on that. And then 2 albums that got me going on the prog side. The first one was Rush 2112. I mean, I just remember just listening to that over and over again when I first heard that. And then Fragile by Yes.
Number 11 on my 10 list, by the way, was 2112. I just couldn't fit it in.
Nice.
Oh, well.
That's fine.
You should know that on this podcast, first of all, this one goes to 11, as Will would say. So it's always okay to have that. But we never stick to it. I've actually got like 14. So.
All right. And so, like I was saying, not my favorite album by Yes, not even close to my favorite album by them. But when I first heard Fragile's the album that got me into them. So, and that started me down the whole prog road. So.
But it is a great record, dude.
It is, but it's not even my favorite now that I've been a fan for 37 years or 36 years or whatever. So.
It doesn't even have Owner of a Lonely Heart on it.
No, it does not. And these next 5, I got them when they came out, and this, it's hard to describe. Before a lot of the metal that I listen to now even existed, a lot of this stuff was kind of, I wouldn't call it proto-metal, but it was kind of the early stages of everything that we listen to now. First one was Ozzy Osbourne's Diary of a Madman. I just tore that apart. Everyone will always point to his first album, Blizzard of Oz, but I always liked Diary of a Madman better personally.
Agreed.
100% agreed. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, holy shit. I used to listen to the first 3 or 4 Ozzy solo records nonstop, man.
Yeah.
And I saw the Diary of a Madman's the first symphonic song, symphonic mode.
Yeah. And it's a little bittersweet for me because I saw him in 82 right after Randy Rhoads died. And I was just like, oh. But I got Brad Gillis. If you're a guitar player, you know Brad Gillis. It's kind of cool.
You know about it.
Brad Gillis tricked me into buying a Night Ranger record. That fucking jerk.
There's only one worth listening to, Jay, is the first one.
The first one.
And
that's one I bought. Well, because you remember he was on Speak of the Devil, and I had Speak of the Devil, and I was like, that guy's got a band now?
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't fucking Ozzy.
Yeah, exactly. The next 4, band that nobody ever probably mentions on here, but I always liked this album, was Allied Forces from Triumph.
Fuck yeah, dude. Almost made my list, John.
It's such a good album.
It's great.
That opening riff from Fool the Love, or the first song on the album. Yeah, it's just, I was just always loved that. And of course, Fight the Good Fight's a total anthem song. So.
Well, in the song Allied Forces, Hot Time in the City Tonight, that fucking's a great record, dude.
Yeah. Probably the last, no, I might have liked Pyromania, but the album High and Dry by Def Leppard was huge. It was their last real metal album from the band. They only had 2, and they were part of that new wave of British heavy metal. And then it just became the Mutt Lange show, after that. So
yeah.
Another album from a band, it's not my favorite by them, but we played it to shit, which was Scream for Vengeance by Judas Priest.
Sure.
Went to the tour, was amazing, enjoyed it. And then a band that only everyone, if they know them, knows one song by them, but I always liked everything by these guys. And that's the self-titled album from Zebra back in 1993.
Yeah.
So those albums, they stuck with me the most. I mean, there's 1,000 albums, like you guys said, but
yeah, it's really super tough list.
Yeah,
I'm
That's
kicking
too hard.
myself about Beast right now.
But I really wanted to pick the ones that I cut my teeth on. So
I wish I had put Allied Forces on my list, John, because this was, I'm not joking, this close. That was a huge record with me when that came out.
yeah, it was great. So
Willem.
Yeah, sorry, I've been having a little bit of technical difficulties and playing dress up at the same time over here. So
You look so pretty.
Wardrobe malfunction.
I'm still wearing a unicorn necklace, but it is made out of a bottle cap from Legend Brewing Company in Richmond, so that's kind of cool. So
That's awesome.
So my top 10 albums. So I was a teenager, so I was very specific about this. I had to ask George, is it the year that you were from 10 to 19, or the decade from your 10 to 19, or is it teenagers from 13 to 19? So these are from November 1985 to November 1991.
Wow.
Between the ages of 13 and 19. And my list, starting at number 1, is going to go in chronological order from the earliest release date. So my first one is Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith. And I know what you're saying.
No,
This was released in 1984. I was 12. However, I did not start listening to this album until I was 13 years old. I love this album. This is still one of my absolute most favorite albums in the entire world. There's not a clunker on it. Still,
you especially like that song Jawbreaker, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about a snake spitting venom. Yeah. Hey, I was like 13. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, I didn't.
In fact, I didn't know what he was talking about till it was probably you, John, probably a year ago, who told me, like, you know what that song's about? I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, kind of is. Like,
you didn't see that coming. Hell bent for leather, all that stuff.
yeah, I was young. I was impressionable. It's only anyway. So at number 2, and this is the real kicker. This is the one that just very much like what Zach said. Metallica, Master of Puppets, released 3 March 1986. When I heard this, there was no going back. That was probably my number 1 gateway drug into metal. And it speaks for itself. My number 3, released on July 5th, 1988. Slayer, South of Heaven. This is interesting because when my friend Vern brought this, we were like in 7th grade or something. He brought this in, and I saw the album cover. I looked at the lyrics. I'm like, I don't know. This scared me. Yeah. And it's influential on me because I refused to listen to Slayer for probably a year or 2 after that, because like, oh my God, they're completely satanic. What's going on? My mom and my grandmother would kill me if I listened to this stuff. So it was influential just because I refused to listen to it. And then once I did, I was hooked. Still one of my favorite bands ever. Number 4, Rigor Mortis, self-titled album, their first one, released July 19th, 1988. I've never heard anything like this before. And what was amazing about it is the guitarist Mike Scacia, or however you pronounce his name, Scacia, God rest his soul. He literally almost didn't even play riffs or chords, just would shred like leads in every song. Start off a song like that, end the song like that. It was something I've never heard before, and I don't know if it's really ever been done again, to my knowledge. Just like a brutal sort of thrashy death band that just sounded like that.
For whatever it's worth, Ben always complains that in Beyond the Door on our Unhunted, he's like, I played leads this entire song. What is it, like 9 minutes or something, or 10 minutes? He's like, this song is so tiring for me because I played leads the entire time.
That's why nobody's done it.
My number 5, another huge gateway for me, Death Leprosy, released August 12th, 1988. I think I bought this album I bought on cassette solely based on the name of the band, the name of the album, and the cover art. And I'm sure all us older guys have done this before. It's like, hey, this looks cool. We didn't have Spotify or Tidal or SoundCloud or anything, even the fucking internet back then, to sort of stream music. So it's like, hey, this looks cool. I'll just buy it. And Death Leprosy was one of those. And I never heard death vocals like this before in my life.
But you had such a better chance of getting it right back then based on the cover alone. You know what I mean? Like it was going to be Death or Iron Maiden or something. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point, because when I go through iTunes or Bandcamp, I'm like, oh, that looks like a cool album cover. And I click on it, I'm like, holy crap, it sucks.
Yeah.
Mine was Blood, Guts, and Pussy by the Dwarves.
Right on.
Those guys had some
I'll tell you what they got it wrong was the band Demon, The Night of the Demon. They have a record called, and it's got this cross on it, and there's this, it's a tombstone, and there's these hands coming out, and it's like opening the cross, and it's like bloody. And this was like right when I was really into Venom, so I bought this record, and it's like Status Quo or something.
It's like just, new wave of British heavy metal.
I mean, it's not metal at all, and I was just like, what the fuck is this?
My number 6, Creator, Extreme Aggression, released June 19th, 1989. This is probably one of my first experiences with overseas, like European metal. And I put it on this list, one, because I loved it. And I remember seeing the video on MTV, you know, what everyone says back when they played videos, for the song Betrayer. And it was just like this crazy long-haired European guys. I'm like, these Europeans really, like these German guys are making music like we do? Like me arrogantly thinking like, oh, only Americans make music like this. So that's a very influential record on me. Creator, Extreme Aggression. Number 7, Sick of It All, Blood, Sweat, and No Tears, released 12 July 1989. And this was sort of like one of those, another sort of gateway, like eye-opening albums for me, because it's one of the first times where I heard, like, it's obviously more of like the New York City hardcore sound. Yeah. But it's like you have these short songs that are like 30 seconds long. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? Like, wait, the song's over already? Like, you know, Master of Puppets is like a 6-minute song or something. You're like, whoa, what's going on? So it was very influential in like expanding my horizons. And I remember some kid in art class gave me the cassette. He's like, hey, check this out. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. In fact, we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Go ahead.
I got to see, when I flew back to Texas to see King Diamond as part of a festival, but Sick of It All played their first 2 albums in that same fest, and it was super sick. Yeah. Was that fun? Yeah, fun. It was awesome, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I was down in Bogota, Colombia for work, probably like a decade ago. And Sick of It All was playing while I was down there, and I dragged this guy that I was working with, who, you know, kind of all back in the day used to listen to some metal. It was like some old weird warehouse, and we saw Sick of It All just destroy this old warehouse in Bogota, Colombia. And it was amazing. I'm a big Sick of It All fan. And then, so my number 8 would be Suicidal Tendencies, Light Camera Revolution, released on July 3rd, 1990. And somebody was saying earlier, I was probably distracted by the tiara on the head of my unicorn necklace. But this was interesting. It was George talking about his Mormon or Jehovah's Witness friend. So I was dating this girl back in high school, and I gave her this tape, and her father found her. Her whole family was like these huge Bible thumpers, and he was literally ready to like pull me by my long hair and put a gun to my head and kill me because I introduced his little daughter, who was not so innocent, to this disgusting devil music. And what was really interesting is I started reading the lyrics to a lot. You can understand the lyrics, and you read the lyrics. It's actually like a lot of dark themes with uplifting lyrics. It's like how to get over stuff. So that's always had a little bit of an impression on me. Yeah. Number 9, Obituary, Cause of Death. Sorry, Buke. Released September 19th, 1990. This is sort of like another foray into death metal. Just absolutely love this album. Still love it to this day. It's my favorite Obituary album, and just resonates with me. And then I do have, before I get to my number 10, I do have 2 honorable mentions. But my number 10, Metallica, the Black Album.
What?
It's influential. Yeah. Well,
but you hate that
influential.
Album.
Exactly.
It was when he learned his heroes could let him down.
It influenced his hate moving forward.
Yes, exactly. This is when I realized that my idols can fail you.
Yep.
That the people that you hold up on this pedestal will change. And literally, this is like, it's extremely influential in my metal listening career, because this is when you figure out that like people will sell out. People will do stuff like, I know Mastodon's a great like band, but man, they're just not the same that they used to be. Metallica is not the same they used to be. So it was influential on me for that reason. And I've told the story a million times about me being in boot camp for the Marine Corps and just fucking want to throw it right in the trash. My 2 honorable mentions is Gwar, Hello, released September 11th, 1988. And just because it was interesting because you could take a completely bunch of unproduced, untalented, can't play their instruments guys, make an album, but just like the lyrics and just the iconography, the stage presence of this band just sucked me in. And I'm still a Gwar fan to this day. And then my last one is Cro-Mag's Best Wishes, released April 26, 1989, because that was sort of like, again, a crossover, kind of like went from the hardcore, went to like the more thrash, speed metal route, and it's just still one of my favorite albums to this day. It's my list.
Right on.
Fuck yeah.
Jay.
All right, all mine are, I looked at it from these all kind of were like gateway drugs for me. So, and I'll explain as I go. So Black Sabbath, Mob Rules, which was my introduction to Ryan James Dio and that whole family of people. So that was how I got into Rainbow and everything else. But Mob Rules was a great fucking record. It would have been my first Black Sabbath record. A guy who rode the bus with me loaned it to me. And I was like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever heard. A band, when I was into super heavy stuff as a teenager, and a band that kind of pulled me back a little bit when I heard their record, this older record, Nazareth Hair of the Dog. It kind of reminded me not everything had to be Slayer. So, and I still love that record to this day, Nazareth. Probably the first real hard rock record I had was AC/DC, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. I got a Walkman and Foreigner 4 cassettes for Christmas one year, and I wore For Those About to Rock out. I always knew they existed as a concept. I grew up in the 80s. I'm 45, and but when I heard Led Zeppelin 1, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was like the greatest fucking thing I'd ever heard in my life. Still my favorite Zeppelin record, though. I love the whole first 6 records more than that's probably my Desert Island band. Another gateway that made me understand a lot of bands I didn't know about, because a lot of musicians came in and out of this band and went to other bands. Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers, that reunion record blew my mind, and introduced me to Ian Gillan, who's one of my easily top 3 favorite vocalists of all time. And then just as far as like progressively heavier in my life, the day I heard Number of the Beast was my whole life. That is one of the turning points of my life. I was like, this is what music can sound like. And then shortly thereafter, Merciful Fate, Melissa, which still is one of my favorite records of all time. I'm a Merciful Fate worshiper, be it the first album, the first unnamed album, but that some versions have names. One of my favorite live bootlegs of all time is called Live from the Depths of Hell. And then the next two, Melissa and Don't Break the Oath, are still high watermarks in metal for me. Slayer, Show No Mercy, my brother, I had read about them in Cream magazine of all things, and it was just like this weird little thing in the back, and my brother went to Illinois one year, and I was like, see if you can find this record. And when he brought it back, I was like, I was gone. I was a Slayer fan for the next 10 years. Amping it up from there, Possessed, Seven Churches.
Wait, what happened after that? Only 10 years?
Well, I mean, their output became a little spottier after that, but they just sort of dominated my teenage years, let's put it that way. Then I got Possessed, Seven Churches. That was one of those, found it in a record store, picked it up, and I couldn't believe how great it was. It was like the next most extreme thing I ever heard. And then this is kind of generic, but it was my introduction to Ozzy-era Sabbath, which is a huge, important part of my life ever since. But the first one I got was We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll, which is like a greatest hits type thing, or really a best of type thing. It's more than a greatest hits. But I was just like, how come I did not know about this? And if you grew up in the 80s, you could not have known about it. If you could have had Diary of a Madman, Blizzard of Oz, there's no reason that you had a copy of Volume 4, you know? And then somebody gave me that, and then I immediately went and bought all the Sabbath records and really knew what life was about. So that's it. And I'll say one weird honorable mention, which was a huge record for me in my teenage years. This would predated all the other things. Billy Squier, Don't Say No. I love
yes.
that record.
Yes. I love that album when it came out.
Addicted to that fucking record. And I still put it on every once in a while.
Hey, Jay, just a quick side note. You mentioned Mob Rules.
Yeah.
The first time I actually heard the song is when the movie Heavy Metal came out.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
We actually...
That's
We had
a movie that also convinced me that Sammy Hagar was a lot more metal than he was. You know what I mean?
Yes. And we had that album, and we had to sneak the movie when someone's parents weren't around, because remember, it was risque back then. Sure. And so
yeah, I did. I went out and bought a Sammy Hagar record, and I was like, wait a second, this isn't heavy metal, because there's one song that's heavy metal.
So Melissa or Don't Break the Oath?
Melissa always for me, but I love them both.
Oh man, I agree. But
he worships these guys, King D and obviously as well. But I think it's kind of funny that we're going on tour with Oathbreaker, and I think you should wear a Don't Break the Oath t-shirt the entire time.
That would be funny.
Tour.
I've been on the pod now for a year and a half. I don't know how many episodes we've done with me on it, but 30, 40, something, I don't know. And I think I've mentioned Merciful Fate every episode. I mean, they are one of my be-all, end-all. Yeah.
We can assure you mention it on every episode.
Yeah, I do. I don't shut the fuck up about them, but God, the hours I spent listening to Melissa, I still think those arrangements, I never get tired of those records, ever.
I agree. The only reason it didn't make my list is because I found Merciful Fate, I think, like when I was 20.
No, you stuck time in there. That's good enough. You honored your man. Yeah, but I would love to see a Merciful Fate reunion tour, and I still think it can happen. I know Brian Slagle wants to make it happen.
Yep, that would be great.
You got a list?
When we talk to King Diamond at Psycho Fest, we'll mention it.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not tired of hearing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Buke, before you go on, what are we all drinking? I see people have multiple beverages now.
We changed
nothing because I drank all mine already.
We moved on to the porter that I brew in the winter for true Dunwich.
Dunwich, fuck yeah.
Oh. How are all you brewers so thin, by the way?
We work our ass off, man.
Yeah,
and they wear black T-shirts to hide the beer guts.
Dude, when I was at Port City, I had a pedometer on one day, and I think in one 12-hour shift, I walked 11 miles.
Yep. Yeah, I think my average is like I don't know, 3 miles a day. Just like doing a normal day or whatever. If it's anything extra, then it's
keep it moving. Mm-hmm. But John, I'm not drinking anything right now, but I got a Fieldwork torrential. It's called torrential Crowler in the fridge for later.
I'm drinking a Four Hands, the Devil's Invention. It's really good. I'm a stout guy. It's a stout brew with coffee.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's empty. It looks good.
I got sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I was gonna say in the next break I'll get my next beer, but whatever.
I had to get up and go. I was thirsty. Sorry, Jay, I missed part of your.
All right. It was boring.
I'll listen back to it.
No, it's always nice to have a reason to listen to the show later.
When I was being interrogated and kidnapped by my children and tiaras and unicorn necklaces and tape over my mouth, I may have zoned out a little bit. But I got the Champion Brewing Company. They put out their Falconer Hoppy Wheat Ale. And Champion will also be one of the breweries, Zach, at the Decibel Metal Beer Fest. And so this is a heavy metal beer that they make for their buddies in Corsair, which are based in Charlottesville, Virginia. If you're
ironically, there's a band called Falconer, too, so it's not for them.
Yeah, it's not for Falconer.
I'm
sorry, I got excited. Hey, I got to ask, since we have two metal brewers here on the pod right now, which is cool, are there, like, indie rock brewers? Are there rap brewers?
I'll tell you what there are for sure is bluegrass brewers.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah.
If it's not bluegrass or reggae, I mean, it's 90% of breweries right there.
Wow.
Almost all my classmates from Siebel were all in the bluegrass, and there was like 5 or 6 of us out of 40 who were definitely in the metal, but it was a lot of bluegrass. And I have to say, I don't mind bluegrass because there's a lot of bluegrass. It's basically, it's metal on banjos. I mean, they're shredding on those things.
Totally. Yeah.
Was that like a brewing school you went to, Will?
Yeah, sorry. Siebel's a brewing school in Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, right on. Cool.
Yeah, I don't just pretend. I'm actually real.
I don't believe a fucking word you say. You know that. I've had your beer.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the hip hop brewery, man. I mean, it's got to be coming down the pipeline somewhere.
Are we gonna start seeing craft brewed 40s?
Yeah.
I think Dogfish Head did one. So yeah.
They did. Yeah, a brown paper bag.
I was gonna say you got a brown paper bag.
I don't listen to rap, but some of the rap I've heard my coworkers listen to, I hear a lot of mentionings of 40s. So I don't know if you can do craft 40 ounces of malt liquors.
How many ounces are these?
Close to you.
This is like probably 32 ounces.
Yeah. 64, isn't it? Is that 32?
64.
It's a little half.
It's a shorty.
Okay, 32. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of there's a lot of metal.
Interesting. You wonder why that is. Yeah, why is there a lot of metal but not rap or indie rock or?
Because we're good.
There's some Deadhead ones out there. Like
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Star Hill. There's a lot of Deadheads down at Star Hill in the Charlottesville area, Virginia. But I don't know of any like straight up hip hop ones or anything.
No, that would be cool.
It would. Yeah. Maybe that's not like a craft brew scene, dude.
Yeah, Jay. You're right. Maybe it's just not a craft brew scene.
But hey, Buke, you were drinking 3 Stars earlier, and the guys at 3 Stars, they're bizarre because they're literally like half metal, half hip hop, and they've definitely done some hip hop sort of stuff. And they've done some metal stuff. They had the Can I Brew with Madness beer.
Nice.
And
that's really clever.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They're on the edge. They're
okay.
Yeah.
Buke, let's get your list.
I can't do this. I didn't listen to metal when I was a teenager. I didn't listen to music. You would have called me a nerd because some of my choices would have been like the Star Wars soundtrack or Weird Al.
Put them on there, man. Dude, Weird Al rocks.
But, dude,
seriously.
Did you, Pantera?
I have the soundtrack. I have the Star Wars soundtrack on vinyl.
Me too.
Right in the other room. And I still listen to it with my kid.
At 30.
We're all nerds. We weren't nerds.
We all.
Into metal.
I'm a nerd. I still play video games daily. I still listen to my soundtracks. I still listen to Weird Al. So
yes,
but
so just do it, man.
But so you saying wear this list with pride, but it's not metal.
Doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Oh,
nobody was born metal.
Okay, what do we say?
Except for Tony Iommi, right? He was born metal.
Zach had the Cure on his list.
Okay, I'm gonna own this list. This is what Buke was listening to. Now I can't say influential because I moved off of these albums so much, but I'm gonna say what stuck out from my teenage years. Deftones, their White Pony album. Among Around the Fur and Adrenaline, easily could have picked any of those.
Oh yeah. Dude, they're solid. All right, you're starting off well. Come on.
This next one is a real. This is when I go off the rails. Korn, Issues.
Okay.
Korn, their self-titled album. See, this list is embarrassing to say.
No. All right, listen. Like
Buke, the thing is that you aren't there anymore.
Yeah, I'm not there anymore.
So think of it like, well, yeah.
Buke, I want to make a personal promise to you. We will not make fun of you until you're not around. We'll wait.
I promise I won't do this.
We're offline, and then we'll write each other emails.
Oh, man. I haven't gotten.
Gloryheimer got a bigger laugh than this. So
Seven Dust, their Animosity album, I probably listened to the most when I was a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Those are all Gateway Records, dude.
Yeah.
See, I'm sweating bullets for this next one. I can't even say this, really.
Say it.
Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
You were listening to it last night, according to your wife.
I was. Stephanie and I were rocking out to it last night. I loved that album. When it came out, it was the last tape that I got. I got the promo for it on cassette tape, I think when I was a sophomore or junior in high school. And it was cool, and of course we see how much success they've gone on to. You don't see many bands able to be stadium acts starting now.
Yeah. They remain
still
huge.
around?
Oh, dude, they still play stadiums every tour.
They do. They're big, George. They're real big. They just don't pass
Will,
those
by the way, jackass.
Yeah, but thanks for mentioning me.
Getting to the heavier albums that influenced me, Metallica S&M was my big Metallica album that I latched on to. Killswitch Engage, their self-titled album. Soulfly, Primitive. And the album that got me into metal when I was a junior in high school, Pantera, Reinventing the Steel. And my favorite album from my teenage years, which still is my favorite album of all time, Alice in Chains Unplugged.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Nothing to be ashamed of there, but I will.
It wasn't so hard now, was it?
No, it wasn't. But it is clear how much work George has done on you over the years. But that's stated, dude. There's no shame there. I mean, mine. If it had been pre-teens, mine would have been all Kiss records and stuff, dude. I mean,
when I found him, his favorite band was Flaw.
Was he wearing a dress? Sorry.
Fatal Flaw.
Southern Trendkill
I'm
almost
right
made
with
my
you. Like
list.
pre-teens.
You're gonna say Southern Trendkill? Really? That's a
Yeah. I don't know why I latched onto that one.
I would have thought like your brother would have possibly given you like
Oh yeah, no,
Far
he was
Beyond
like,
or something.
Listen to Vulgar, Far Beyond, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I want to listen to this.
I think that's a good point, Buke. Like, first of all, I think
I leapfrogged that via my brother. That's what happened.
Yeah, right. So very honest list, that's what this is about. And also, you know, like it sounds to me like you're maybe about the same age as Zach here, and you didn't have the benefit of an older brother who was like,
I am the older brder.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I mean, you know,
God, then you must have really fucked your brother up, dude.
The thing is, I had the combination where I'm a not toot my own horn, but you guys can tell I'm a chatty Cathy. I can be friends with anybody. I was extremely popular. I have been my whole life, but none of my friends, the circles I ran with, weren't metalheads.
Yeah.
So I never. And this,
if we were going off of my mom's record collection, dude, I would have been all Neil Diamond and Grease.
If this list was like my car with my parents, it would have been the Eagles, Elton John, Bon Jovi,
actually,
Billy Joel.
We'll do that list next time. We'll do like a pre, you know.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do a non-metal list, and he won't do it.
It's slippery than when wet is definitely in my.
Because guys, we can't do that list because Goodbye Yellow Brick Road can't be 1 through 10, boys.
All right, so I'll make you feel better with my list. And I'll make you feel worse and better at the same time. I'm definitely a child of the 80s.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Guys, I see the time here. It's 5:45 on the East Coast. How are you guys looking on time?
I don't know. Are we even going to do anything?
No, I'm free.
Yeah, so we're done.
Okay.
Bill's sick. We were going to try to like track some drums, but we're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, track some drums. See, we're getting a little hints. So what are we talking about?
Thanks for spending so much time with us, guys.
We roughed everything out before we hit the studio.
Yeah, no, just like Jay said, I'll echo that. Thanks for spending your Sunday with us. I'm sure you guys will be with your family or something. So
I know this is a blast.
Yeah, seriously, like
thanks,
all the good football's over. Like I hate the Green Bay Packers.
No, then you'll be happy. They're getting stomped.
Don't worry, you're enjoying the score. Trust me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
They're getting freaking thumped.
Are they really? I'm gonna actually look at the highlight right now.
It was like 37-7 a minute ago.
Yeah.
Really?
37-15 right now.
Okay.
My second favorite team is whoever's playing the Green Bay Packers.
All right. So my list, I went over the allotted 10. Okay, so this is supposed to be for teen years. And by the time I hit 13, I had just discovered metal, and that was pretty much it for there on out. I've listened to things that aren't metal since then, and plenty of things that aren't metal. But influential, my teen years were metal. However, I wanted to throw in a couple from my preteen years just to show you that I was not born metal. So my very first album I ever bought, which was huge for me, was Styx, Kilroy Was Here. My second album that blew my mind and blew a generation's mind, Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Nice.
Yeah, Michael Jackson almost made my list.
Yeah.
It really, you know what? It really is a good record.
Oh, it's an amazing record.
I hear Billie Jean on the radio now, and I do not turn the channel.
No, man, I turn that shit out.
It's good.
Probably the first rock album that I heard that a friend let me borrow that got me into music in general was John Cougar's American Fool. And I just loved the shit out of that. At the same time, he also gave me Jay Giles' band Freeze Frame. So
yes.
That was my first ever album I bought ever on cassette.
Yeah, those were my first two that I ever listened to, and I was like, outside of like oldies that my parents played, and I was like, yeah, rock and roll. But
Jay Giles, yeah, it's awesome. I like that. I love that record. My dad loved that record.
Yeah,
that Jay Giles record.
That's a good one.
So, but for the teens, these were the albums that just blew my mind and were iconic to me. And in alphabetical order, Anthrax is Among the Living, which,
I would have freaked out if it was alphabetical order and you started with ZZ Top. I was going to be like, where's he going to go from here?
Xylophone? Oh, wait, that's an X, not a Z. Never mind.
The band
Zebra
with a Z.
Man. Yeah, Zebra. Next up, Dio's Sacred Heart. Obviously, there were two very popular albums before that one, but this was the first one that I went out and bought, and it has always been my favorite Dio album, even though other people slag on it a bit. One of the greatest thrash albums of all time, Exodus's Bonded by Blood. Is killer, Paul Bailoff is one album, and it's a classic. Fate's Warning, Awaken the Guardian, would eventually spawn prog metal. Killer album. My very first Iron Maiden album was Power Slave, and boy, did that make an impression.
Best one.
The best one. See, that's why we like
one.
these. Yep.
And at the same time, I also discovered Judas Priest and Defenders of the Faith Will.
Nice.
Also my favorite. One that didn't make anyone else's list. Manowar, Fighting the World.
Oh shit!
Manowar were huge with me, and that was the album that started it all for me.
The North Star always guides me. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's
Carry on.
And who's the who is it on Defender? Who's the is it Citizen Kane guy?
Yeah. What the hell's his name?
Can't remember.
That's terrible.
Citizen Kane. Who's the guy that made the movie Citizen Kane? Also, it was in the. Okay, sorry.
John Lithgow.
No.
Let's just go with that. Fuck it. That's good. I'll get it, George. Keep going.
I was Googling it. Orson Welles.
Well,
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
You seen the outtakes of him doing the wine commercial? Anyway.
that was it. Yeah, that's him. What is it? Where they will sell no wine before.
Yeah, we were selling the wine. Yeah.
Next up is the self-titled Metal Church album. That album blew my mind when I heard that. And that came out, around the same time that I heard this next band, a little bit before I heard this next band, and that would be Metallica's Master of Puppets, which of course was the complete and total game-changing album. I'd heard Ride the Lightning, and I liked it, but this album, wow.
That's three of us who said Master of Puppets was the game-changing album.
Yeah.
I think, Zach, you said that too as well, right?
Yep.
I call it like one of the great. I would call it probably the greatest metal belt, but it's not one of my most influential. Strangely,
And I have to say a point. The thing that makes me jealous every time you guys do these lists is being, like 10 years younger than you guys, is you guys got to live this metal rise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's when Number of the Beast, then Peace of Mind, then Power Slave came out. It was just as cool as you think it was.
Yeah.
It was. You were like, I'm not joking. You were like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I mean, it set us up for disappointment for the rest of our lives, dude.
Because we get the only Maiden talk we get to have is book, huh? It's pretty good, huh?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, the thing about it though is like, unless you were tuned in, which it appears most of you dudes were, it's Metallica wasn't on the radio back then.
Nope.
Fuck no.
So you when Master of Puppets came out,
I was the only guy in my high school with that record, dude. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I was on the 7th grade track team, and I would like listen to that shit in my headphones while I was waiting to like fail miserably at the 400. And no one else was listening to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was really, I got lucky. I had a friend whose big brother turned me on to Ride the Lightning, and for me, that was the one where it's like, I'm gonna listen to this band, forever. And then of course the Black Album, whatever.
The surprising thing so far, going through 5 lists, especially with your guys' age, surprised GNR hasn't made it on anybody's lists.
Well,
It was very close. It was on my list.
It almost was
Appetite for Destruction was on my list, and then I realized that in the grand scheme of things, when I was looking at the release dates of all this stuff, like GNR was between like Metallica, Slayer, Rigor Mortis, and it's like it was there. I loved it. It was influential, but as far as metal goes, like I liked it, but it was sort of like it almost like took me back, like like rock can still be cool, but I still love metal more.
Well, that's almost the exact reason I was gonna put it on my list, was because I was so much of a metalhead that I was kind of like a bravado metalhead, so I was like, that's gay, whatever it was, Striper or something that was like this ridiculous, But when that record came out, that it was good, that I liked it, and I so visibly liked it and didn't care what anybody thought. I almost put it on my list for that reason alone. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Okay, because I just thought as big as it was.
Yeah,
What's that?
It was big, man. You're right, and I mean, growing up in that era, like anyone who had any taste in music actually could, there are a lot of records that those people ignored, like Master of Puppets or whatever, because it wasn't mainstream enough. But everyone like GNR. I did not a fan, believe it or not. I dig Paradise City and a couple other tunes, but never really got into it. Wasn't my thing.
But then our guitar player loves Guns N' Roses.
Well, I have to be specific. That's the only one I like for what it's worth. I thought they just off the rails after that.
Yep, for sure.
I think the user records are just not
George,
good.
we did this all during your list. So
That's all right. It's all right. I've got two more.
Okay, well, lay them out.
One of them, people are going to give me the stink eye over this one, but Ozzy Osbourne's "Bark at the Moon" because.
Well, I'm not giving you any stink eye.
Well, if.
It's not Diary of a Madman.
It
was the first record after Randy, but it's a respectable.
And I'm the first one to admit that Diary of a Madman and even Blizzard of Oz are probably better albums. Well, no probably about it. But this was the first one I bought on cassette.
There you go.
And I played the shit out of it. And, it just...
Were the previous ones on 8-track or what?
No, I just didn't have them yet.
Didn't have them.
No, those are mine, Will.
Because I went out there, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, man, that dude's a werewolf. That's fucking cool.
Yeah,
and so I bought that instead of the other two. But... and my last one...
it's the first one you heard, dude. That's what matters.
The last album, Will or Jay, can you think of who this might be? I haven't said yet that from the 80s that's completely massive and not on my list.
A massive
Iron
band
Maiden?
isn't a huge band.
Well, I'm specifically asking you guys because you are big fans.
Slayer or Iron Maiden?
Well, Iron Maiden was, but it's Slayer, Rain and Blood.
Oh, Rain and Blood. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
When that came out, it was also the first one I could find in the store. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, the first couple albums were not exactly available.
Findable.
It was like a mail order only kind of thing. But when Rain and Blood came out, it was the first thing you could find in the store, and I snatched that up, and I was terrified by it. I was not raised particularly religious, but the first couple times I listened to it, I just kind of felt guilty.
Yeah.
And that's
this is kind of dirty,
about,
and I don't know if I should listen to this. And then I was like, yeah, I should listen to this.
I felt that way about Venom's black metal. On the back, it says, like, we spit at the Virgin you worship and sit at Lord Satan's left hand and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I should buy this. I was like literally a little weird about it. And then King Diamond cured me of all of that.
I can just picture George. I can just picture George's parents yelling up to young George. George, what are you doing? Nothing. As he hides the headphones and stuff.
Yeah, that was the album that I would put on full blast in my little 80s stereo system. When I was pissed off, I'd throw on Rain and Blood and just turn it up all the way and slam the door. And
do you hear when your parents ask you what you're listening to and it's so bad, you're like, mom, nothing. I'm just jerking off. I'm like, don't come in my room. I'm just jerking off.
All right, well, those are our lists. Thank you all for participating. We're going to move on to another type of list.
But can I just say, too, I feel like we just learned, for people who are listening out there, if you want to create a Khemmis record, they just gave you the ingredients. Now you have their list.
I'll give you the ingredients for album.
If this album,
cool.
We're not going to tell you how long to bake it.
Album Thin Lizzy, Black Rose, Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath, probably Anathema, Angelic, and what's going to be the last element here?
Maybe a Sabbath thing? I feel like you should throw some Sabbath in there. No offense. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Maybe we could do Masters of Reality.
There you go.
Let's do that all up.
That's how you get a Khemmis record.
That's how.
And that's also how we mislead the public.
I really should have put Don't Break the Oath on my list because that was also very influential to me. First time I heard it, and Metallica at the same time, was a friend of mine gave me a dubbed cassette, and it was one of the long 120 minutes or whatever. And on one side was Ride the Lightning, the other side was Don't Break the Oath, and that was the first time I heard both those bands.
Oh man, Don't Break the Oath. I remember hearing Merciful Fate for the first time, and I was like, oh, I don't get this at all. Mm-hmm. So when I was younger, I was like, I wanted to listen to something that was hard, just listening to Left Hand Path. I was like, man, it sounds like shit, And then a couple of years later, I was just like, holy shit, what was I missing here, man? Clicked with me, and then it was on. It was all over after that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, we got our buddy Nate from Spirit Adrift had a question for us.
How did you know we were doing this?
They sent they put a tweet like, if you have questions, send them along.
Yeah, I put in a tweet. What you guys? We have a question for you guys.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nate from Drift asked.
I know.
It's one of your friends.
Well, Spirited. Yeah, he happens to be a friend, but also in a really cool band. Spirited.
Can I ask you that? Is the question this? Where's my fucking $20?
What is our favorite from kombucha?
What was it? Libra.
Our favorite flavor of kombucha.
Oh
yes.
man, that's
so
cool.
coming in from Spirit Drift, your guys' friends, and you said a awesome doom band from Phoenix.
Yep.
What is your favorite flavor of kombucha?
Lemon ginger for me.
I've actually never had kombucha.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
There you go.
Nate's also in one of the bands that I enjoy, or at least he was, Take Over and Destroy.
Yeah, he's not anymore.
He's not anymore. Yeah, I thought maybe he left when he was doing this.
Yep. He plays guitar in Gate Creeper as well.
Buke likes them.
Yeah, we know Gate Creeper.
Oh, I like Gate Creeper a lot.
Aren't
you guys playing a festival in Vegas next year with them, or this year?
Yeah, we're playing Psycho.
Yeah.
Is Gate Creeper on it? Yeah, Gate Creeper's on it. Yeah. Yep.
I also think
And
that
some
means you're
other
playing
like
with.
little bands like Neurosis and
Yeah,
King Diamond.
Yeah, that's right, King Diamond. That's right. Yeah.
All right, so moving on, what are we listening to lately? We're going to take the same route as we did with the lists. We'll start with Dan and Zach, and then our usual path. So, what have you been listening to lately?
Like I said before, I usually just listen to Zach's top 10 list. But I'm still listening. Like, I'm kind of a slow mover. I don't listen to. I like to stick with shit for a while. So I'm kind of still listening to a lot of the 2016 stuff. Vector, we talked about. The Inner Armor record. I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Can't really get enough of the Nick Cave record. It's special. And it, I really can't stop listening to it. I've been listening to the Leonard Cohen record more.
Oh, so good.
The new one.
Yep. And it's goddamn, dude. I mean, I don't know that there was ever a clearer prediction of death.
Yeah.
In my, I'm like, God, it's freaking me out a little bit, but it's really good.
And it's kind of comforting in a way.
It is.
I had heard after the fact that he had cancer, which I don't know if that's true or not. So that the prediction itself was
he knew he was going to die.
Well, we talked about it the week before. We talked about it on the pod, and he
who is this?
Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
We had just talked about it on the pod, and we were worried that we killed him because we were like, he said in an interview, it's like, I don't think I'll be around much longer. And the next pod, we're like, he died yesterday. But
yeah, he died the day we posted that pod.
Did you have the good fortune to see one of those last tours he did by any chance?
No, never saw it.
I did, and I will say to anybody, metal or otherwise, it may be the single greatest show I've ever seen. It was
amazing.
I believe it.
It was like Frank Sinatra and Bob Dylan smashed into one body, and it was just like I walked out of there in awe.
Yeah,
I see it. Like he just translates emotionally so well. Always has. All his records. I enjoy many of them, and this one.
It's fucking words, man.
Yep.
But I will. By the way, the parallel would be the Bowie record.
Yeah. Which is also great and made we had to do some year-end lists, and that was on all of mine. I'm listening to Slowmatics more. Actually, I think maybe because of this podcast.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and the Spellcaster record.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to a lot.
Hey, Dan, I don't know if you heard our year-end episode, but that made my list. That album was fantastic.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yep, and
remember when I was like, "Hey, this band's cool."
Yeah, no, I know it was cool. Again, Zach is like he's definitely my heavy metal or my channel to heavy music,
Yeah.
And what else do I have on here? Witchcraft, the new Witchcraft record I've been listening to, actually.
I've been heard it.
That was my number one album last year.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
awesome.
Magnus Pellender. I'm going to try to get him on the pod. I have a metal crush on that fucker right now. And did you get the Pellender record? The time he has an acoustic record that came out.
I know the Pellender stuff as well, and I don't know. It's good, but I don't like listen to it often.
Didn't change your life. That said, Nucleus.
Hey Jay, this is the Metalheads podcast, not the
Fuck you, Will.
rock and roll podcast.
Oh well, hey, I hear Pellender is going to tour with Clutch, Will, so we can go see him together. But yeah, that I can't say enough about Witchcraft, and that record is great. So,
all right,
good choice. Good choice.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I've been listening to lately. How about you, dog?
Well, speaking of not metal, I'm about to bum everybody out. In December, like I've always really liked Tom Waits, but
I love him too.
I wasn't super familiar with. I was really familiar with probably like a handful of his albums. So I started listening to. I worked my way through his whole discography from album 1 all the way up to 16 now, and so I've been listening to a shitload of Tom Waits, and man, there's like it's almost a spotless like track record. It's insane how good that guy.
You know what's that's nice, uplifting, makes you feel good.
He's big in Japan.
You know, I went to see the Book of Mormon here when it was doing the traveling show, the Matt Stone and Trey Parker thing, and as I was walking out, he was in front of me, and I was like, no way. Yeah, he lives out here, so
he's my bucket list of haven't seen him yet in concert, and I really want to see him. Two times ago that I was in Atlanta, I walked by a venue and he was on the board for like 3 days after I was leaving. I was like, God damn it!
Yeah.
I don't know if he tours a lot now.
No, he doesn't.
No, very, very rarely now.
Well, at this rate, because we talked about him, he's probably dead.
He'll be gone next week. Yeah, we'll be announcing
that. Was the joke of the
Sorry.
We kill people.
Yep.
So, and also, I listen to a lot of Tom Waits like when I start my brew day because it's a little bit more relaxing way to ease into the day.
The piano has been drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Not me.
Exactly. I've been listening to some old school death metal more. So, Immolation Here and After. Been jamming that quite a bit lately. Titan Blood is a killer black death metal band from Spain. They just put out a new song, A Cursed Skin. So I've been listening to that. King Diamond Conspiracy. There's always some kind of King Diamond in rotation.
The same shit that I was listening to in middle school.
Yeah. And then two really not metal things. Waylon Jennings is a fixture for me. Dreaming My Dreams album, been listening to quite a bit lately. And then Black Marble, it's Immaterial.
I love it, guys. See that right there? That's called confidence. You fucking laid out there. Now Waylon's gonna die though, or if Waylon's already dead.
He is.
Yeah, he's dead.
All right, John, what are you listening to?
All right, we mentioned it already. Black Anvil, As Was. I'm really liking that album a lot right now.
Was. Please say it with an English accent from now. As Was. Black Anvil, As Was.
Black
As
Anvil.
Was.
Instrumental metal band called Alluvial. I think that's how you say it. The Deep Longing for Annihilation. Buke, you might be interested in these guys. One guy's from Black Crown Initiate, and the other guy's from Conquering Dystopia, guitarist. So it's kind of cool.
Send it to me on Spotify.
George will probably correct me on this, but I'm not very good at speaking anything that's Icelandic. But the band's name is, I think, Dragsul. That's close enough.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, and then the album is Valoya, I think. Valoya Land, which is black metal. It's kind of cool. Band that I did not catch a few years ago that I've been listening to a lot lately is Sunset in the 12th House.
Yes.
Arctic Cascades. It's a killer instrumental metal with one song where they have death vocals, but the rest of the album's all instrumental.
It's like the dude from Dor Day Da. I don't know how to say it. But,
yeah.
They're like Romanian or something.
They're Romanian, yeah.
Yeah, and good stuff.
Yeah. And then another band I just got into, but they've been around for a while, is Persephone, and it's the album Spiritual Migration.
Yeah, you told me to listen to that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're the only band I know that I like that's from Andorra, so that's interesting in itself, I guess.
One band in all of Andorra.
No, there's two.
Nobody else plays
friends that are also in a band from Andorra. I thought the same exact thing. I said, this must be the only metal band from Andorra.
You're talking about the little tiny country state inside of Spain, Andorra, right?
Well, technically, in between Spain and France will.
All right. Well,
Here we go. This is showing off how smart
the
this
fucking
podcast
geography
is
gets
today.
No.
Yes,
That's what you're
yes.
talking about.
Well,
Right?
it's that disputed
I
territory.
didn't know if there was
called
like
Andorra.
I didn't know if there was like
Today
an
on
Andorra,
Geography with the
California.
Metalheads
Yeah, really.
podcast.
Well, I don't think you realize, John, but it's a commonwealth, and there's a lot of people don't
Okay,
understand that.
so you just tell your guys with their PhDs that there's a couple dudes with masters on this show.
That's right. That's got our geography lesson here for
Yeah,
sure.
that's fucked up.
See, and now people say our podcast runs too long. You don't get this on the hour pod.
No,
Right.
if you
Because
gotta
we're
wait for
4 or
every
5
fucking
years
money
in.
shot.
Exactly.
It gets more funny the more beer you have.
Exactly. Yeah, more beers in.
Look, Buick, you speak long enough, and all kinds of shit's going to come up on the podcast.
Wait till we go another hour and a couple more beers. We're
Yeah,
gonna be
like
talking
this
about
is like the
Shakespeare.
Million Monkeys with a Million Typewriters kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
William, what are you listening to? Or were you done, John? I'm sorry.
What am I listening to? John, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I just have 4. Pretty quick. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. I don't know what was. I don't know
That
what was
should have
going
been on my
on.
list.
Yeah,
That was
and that's
wildly
why.
influential for me.
Right.
Me too.
Exactly. And what I realized is this came out when I was like 10, so I couldn't put it on my list. And that's this album is exactly why I emailed you and said, so are we looking from like 10 to 19 or
Well, see,
looking
now,
from like 13 to 19?
Well, it doesn't have to have been released when you were a teen. It just influenced you when you were a teen. So you could have listened to the first Black Sabbath album at 13, and that would have been fair.
All right.
Like me.
Well, all right. So this influenced me when I was like 10 or whatever I was.
Close
But
enough. But you
anyway,
love it.
but then I realized I didn't actually own it. I was listening on Spotify a couple months ago, and I was like, hey, I need to buy this album, so I bought it, iTunes. So Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. Next one, obviously, Creator, Gods of Violence. I've been spinning that a lot lately. One thing I absolutely fucking hate about when we get stuff in the Dropbox or if I upload stuff from Bandcamp to iTunes is that iTunes has this thing, and it works. They will always say like, hey, these 2 songs did not upload to iTunes and you can't listen to them on your iPod. And it just drives me insane. And it
too.
forces you to just buy stuff on iTunes. And I hate it.
Especially since you can't buy that one yet.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
So
lucky.
if I'm
That's
cruising
why
around
I
in my
fucking
Send
use
us the
them.
Dropbox link.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, there's other ways to add things to. Is it a phone or an iPod?
it's the iTouch, which I hate. I effing hate this thing.
You ought to be able to use an app that's
All right,
separate
you
from
can
the
call technical. It's called
I don't have
technical
that problem in any
assistance
of my
app for the
No, but
devices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm in my car and where I listen to music mostly is in my car driving back and forth to work, I have to have a Wi-Fi to get those extra songs. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Who cares?
You know who doesn't have this problem? John TR.
Yeah. You know what? I don't have this problem either because I'm not part of the cult called the Apple Cult, so I don't have to worry about that shit.
I'm part of the Apple cult, but I don't use iTunes because it's a piece of shit.
It is. My 3rd album, Obituary, Cause of Death, because I'm working on my latest Brewheads column, which features the 3 Floyd's beer hopped in half. And
You know what? I see. Maybe you should do a Brewhead sitting down with Zach. Maybe.
Some good titles.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what? If Dan and Zach, if you guys aren't familiar, Will, on the podcast, he sits down and really does an excellent job writing reviews for heavy metal beers.
Yeah.
And historically, they are some of the most visited content on our site, which is pretty much the episodes and that. So
Yeah, sounds great. Love to do that.
Well, where are you? Let's bring you some beer too. We're bringing beer to all of you guys.
Yeah.
No. We
Legal
can
drum set
co-review
behind.
things. Have them. I just want to get to hear from people.
and you know what? Really, we could meet you guys in Philly, and you guys could be like, God, these guys suck in person.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. We'll see you in Philly, and Jay, we'll see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm
Yeah.
not agreeing to anything until after Philly.
I'll see you guys in Philly. But and my last one is obviously preparing for this episode. I've been listening to a metric fuck ton of Khemmis. So I have both the albums. So I've been I was literally it was just playing throughout the house all day today. My kids were listening to it. My wife was listening to it. I should say my wife was hearing it. I don't know if she was listening to it, but
your wife was subconsciously putting that in her checkmark book against you.
Yes.
That's right.
The long
lawyer.
checkmark book. Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to lately.
Jay.
Not unlike Will, I like to honor our guests by making sure that I'm listening to their stuff, but that's not hard with these fellas, and especially since Khemmis was Buke's number one last year, and I didn't listen to it as much as I should have, and so I've been listening to it a lot. Got it on vinyl. I'm totally fucked. It's great. It is. It's an addictive record. Also whipped out recently Bell Witch, the Four Phantoms on vinyl again. Haven't listened to that in a while.
That was your number one last year, right?
It was, and I ended up listening to it like 5 times this weekend. The whole of the Witchcraft discography, because I'm still freaked out on them. A band I discovered on Bandcamp recently called Baltimore, minus the E for you East Coast fellas. Record called Epos. I think they're from Sweden or something.
Sweden or Finland, one of the maybe Finland.
Yeah, I think maybe Finland.
Cool, thrashy, shouty vocals. That's a terrible description, but it's pretty good stuff. Really good players.
I like it.
I am also listening to a band I discovered called Texas Massacre, which is sort of a quick, fast, I would call them almost a crossover punk band, metal band, and they do songs just about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's going to get old eventually.
But it's good. It's a good stuff. And then
Jay, I got to interrupt. What was great about that album is, you sent it to me. You're like, hey, this is right up your alley. I'm like, you're right. I downloaded it on Bandcamp. I listened to it. I'm like, it was like 5 minutes later. I'm like, oh, it's over? Like, what happened?
All the songs are like 2 minutes long.
It's done.
It's so fast.
It's like 5 songs, a minute and a half long, and it's like done. I'm like, whoa, what happened?
It's like a 12-minute record. Witchery I'm still listening to, and then
Joel Violetta can listen to that on his way to work.
That's right. Yeah,
Twice.
And then I am also spinning the Creator record. I think they put together a pretty good record, so I'll probably listen to that 4 or 5 times. And that's what we're rolling over here, boys. That and a combination of everything I have been listening to over the last 6 months.
Sweet. Buke.
Okay, I was trying to find a little prop that I had to let you know. First off, this is a visual podcast. Of course, it's not. But I've been listening to Khemmis. That's from my friend. That was a shirt from the Vitus show that my friend Chris Voss from Nine Circles purchased for me.
Yeah. Oh, right on, dude. That's
awesome. So, Chris, thank you for grabbing the shirt for me at the show because it sold out and I couldn't get up there. And I was going to drive the 4 hours from DC to you guys. But Nick, Metal Nick, he's a concert photographer. He's filmed a bunch of shows. Worked with Metal Injection for a while. He introduced me to a band when we hung out last weekend, a kind of hardcore noise band that just broke up called Weekend Nachos.
Yep.
That I've been spinning a little bit.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
We went and saw their last show in Denver. When we were in Chicago,
which is their hometown.
They're from Chicago. They played they played 2 shows, their last shows ever, and they played across from us in Chicago.
Oh, right on.
Which is a bummer in multiple ways. A, we would have gone.
Yeah.
Because they really rolled live. If you haven't seen it, well, you won't ever. So
yeah, you won't.
But they were great live and really great band. So I'm glad you dig them. And yeah, we did not get to see them. And luckily, we were fortunate to draw the crowd we did. Because, thank God they played on Saturday too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I was totally unaware of these guys, but Nick is a huge, when I say huge vinyl collector, guys, like we all are, he is the vinyl guy where any color he's buying, any variant he is buying. Well, when I was looking at his collection, he was like, what's your most unique vinyl? He actually has the Weekend Nacho shape.
Yes.
So at first, you hear the name Weekend Nachos and you think, is this like a spoof funny band or something like that? But oh no, you could not be further from the truth. I started with their album Worthless. I don't know what you guys' favorite is, but that's what I started with.
That's the only one I have on vinyl, but they're all pretty much monsters.
Yeah. Was listening to that. Jay, I have gone back and listening to the Witchery. It's not, it's good. It's actually is really good. And lastly, what else I've been listening to is an album that just came out by The Drip.
Yeah.
The name of the band.
Cool.
So.
It's just The Drip, not like singular, not the Drips like the guys from the Bronx.
The Drip. It's like I think it's a reference to Khemmis, if you know Khemmis, which you, John and Duke should at least know them. And they had a song called "Drip Drip Drip" about basically a dead body. And these guys are like a grindcore.
Yeah,
or would you say so, Duke? Is that what you call them, grindcore?
Yeah, definitely. And classic songs are a minute and a half.
Yeah. Pig Destroyer, Nails, kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good though. I like it too.
Gets in, hit you right in the face.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying this guy's to blow smoke, and I'll say it just like I started it. The new Khemmis, your guys' new album's amazing, so I keep listening to that.
Cool, man. Thank you.
I keep listening to it. Maybe if I listen to it enough, maybe when I do see you guys, maybe above will be played first. So,
or maybe last.
Yeah, or maybe last.
We never finished that, but we had it where we had rehearsed it as like a whatever encore kind of thing. If people are still standing around, like we make them listen to it. And Phil broke his string on Bereaved, and we're like, "Whoa, shit! Sorry,
that's all, folks." I like that you guys don't travel with extra guitar strings. Fuck it. That's all we had. I know.
We do, but it was the
closing time.
It was like probably 30 seconds of the last song.
Yeah. So
right. So what the fuck? We're out of here. Yeah.
George. Hey, I ask you, why? The first couple of songs are so catchy. Why have you been choosing to roll with Candlelight over? Is there a reason for that?
I think
it's fun to play.
It's heavy. Well, I think the way it kicks in is just nice.
The way it kicks in, like I said, the bow.
Heavy and groovy right from the start.
Right.
So it's nice to start the set with that.
We like the groove of it. I've thought about it a couple times, but for this set, should we have done that? But I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's okay. Hey, I know. One last thing. I meant to ask this. I'm sorry for stepping on it. That was rude.
No, that's okay, dude.
On stage, you look like a monster. How tall are you?
Me, Dan?
Yeah.
I'm 6'1" and some change.
Okay. No, because compared to the other guys around you, you look like you're like 6'4".
Yeah. No. Well, I wear boots, and those guys, I don't know. Maybe they eat like light. I don't know.
I mean, Ben's tall too.
Yeah, Ben's actually taller than me.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just a bigger figure. Okay.
It's just a bigger presence.
I probably outweigh Ben by 50.
He's full figured, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I can always be sure that there's going to be larger Khemmis shirts in stock.
Note to self though that you really want to hear Above the Water. So
we like playing that song.
That's what's so albums rarely for me. I can't speak for the other guys on the pod. Rarely catch me on first listen. That song on first listen, hooked me on the. I knew as soon as I heard that this album was going to be somewhere on my list, and it was going to be somewhere high.
That's cool.
So I got two cheesy insider facts or whatever tidbits about that song. One thing is we wanted to have our Hellion the Eye opening to an album, so where it's that harmonic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that was kind of, it didn't translate the same way, but that was some of the inspiration. And then the other little tie-in is the album leads off on a harmonized part, or Absolution ends on a harmonized guitar part in the Bereaved, and then we start album 2 on a harmonized part.
Little connectors. I like that.
Yeah. And third little tidbit is we actually hate it now. So.
And you know what I thought was really weird about this process, because I don't know, I don't think any of us had really experienced it, but for Above the Water, we had a lot of songs. We had a handful of songs, and we were like, we need an album opener.
Yeah, and we wrote it
very intentionally. Yeah, which is bizarre. Blew my fucking mind. And then we're doing this. It was it's kind of a march in the beginning. I was like, are you sure that's how you want to open an album? And then I came back and started listening to this. I was just listening to music, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of good albums.
So if you like that song also, and you want a chance of possibly hearing it, you got the Oathbreaker tour coming up, you got the Decibel tour coming up, you got the Psycho Fest coming up, so maybe you'll hear it. And guys, please don't go into meetings over the next couple weeks and practices and say, you know what, guys, maybe we should change up the set list because shit's working well. So I don't want you guys to go in and say, you know what, maybe we should change something.
No, we already planned on playing it at some point. So
Okay.
At some point this time next year, because they're going to say we were doing so well. What happened? happened? It was just like everything started to go down. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody listens.
The sets is something's just not clicking anymore. Okay, George, go ahead, buddy. What are you listening to, brother?
All right, first up, this is a side project for our friend Evan Knight from Pile of Priests. This is Astreus and Virtuous. Do you guys know Pile of Priests? You don't know them? They're a Denver band.
I don't know them. I know they're I don't. We don't know them personally, but I know the band. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're cool. You should check them out. Well, you know them. So anyway, or you know of them.
Right. Just them personally.
It's weird. It's weird. They're one of the few metal bands they're one of the few metal bands in town we don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why that's.
They're antisocial.
Places now. I don't think they play out as much now because they're one of them lives in a different place and.
They were talking up True when they were on, like they hang out there. So
shit, maybe it's tonight. Maybe I do. I don't know. I think they're playing soon.
They're pretty busy. They're always burning piles of priees, so you may not catch it.
But anyway, it's like a tech death kind of thing. It's good. Next up.
Oh no, sorry. That was good.
Next up is the self-titled Bantha Rider. It's a Star Wars themed instrumental. It's like sludgy stuff. Okay, the Black Anvil album. We already talked about that. The new Circle of Dust album, Machines of Our Disgrace. I should preface this with after our year-end episode through the end of the year and into January, I tend to be really burned out on metal. And so this winter, I like listen to a lot of stuff that isn't metal, a lot of electronic music actually. Circle of Dust is heavy. It's sort of like a heavy industrial metalish kind of thing. And the dude, I can't remember his name, but he also has another project called Cell Dweller. And he hasn't done Circle of Dust in, I don't know, a long time, I think. So this was sort of a return album, and it's really awesome. So if you like anything with any sort of electronic industrial heaviness, Circle of Dust. The next one is also sort of a mix of electronic and heavy. This is a band called Neurotech. It's a one-man project. And he did these symphonies that he released as singles. Each of them was like 12 to 18 minute song, and they were released as singles over the last few years, and he compiled them into the album Symphonies. It's really cool. The next two are ones that were recommended to me by our previous guest, Joel Violette of Throssenblot. Violetta. And the first one is Of the Wand and Moon, the album The Lone Descent, and Rome, two albums I picked up, the Coriolan and the Hyperion Machine. Very not metal, but very cool.
Man, I haven't thought of either one of those projects, bands, or whatever in a long time, but yeah, I really like Rome, and Of Wand of Moon is cool as well.
Excellent.
But yeah, like Rome is great, man. So good.
Yeah.
It
blew me away. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I also picked up, when John bought it, the Sunset in the 12th House Mosaic. And then another industrial metal album called This Be the Verse, and it's the self-titled album. I'd never heard them before. I think it's a dude, like a one-man project again. And it mixes like electronic, hardcore, and metal, I'd say.
Nice.
And then the last three, I'm just throwing them all together. They're like straight up like Perturbator kind of electronic music, like 80s horror movie themed electronic music. Dynatron, the Neo-Satanic Acid Cult, and Terrortron.
Nice.
That's the.
I haven't heard any, but that's great.
Neo-Satanic Acid Cult. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I used to listen to this band called Velvet Acid Christ.
Yeah, I remember them. I remember them
in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
anyway,
what was the other one?
Hey George, I have to say that I was, I obviously follow you on Bandcamp, but I was looking at a lot of your recent purchases after the year-end episode.
Going, what the fuck?
I was getting a little worried. I was like, what? I was like, I click on like, hey, what is this? What is George buying? I'm like, what? No, wow, what of sports is this horse shit?
Did somebody George got hacked
stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, exactly. George got hacked. What?
Yeah, I needed some palate cleanser.
Yeah, man, you got to try different corpses on for size every once in a while.
There you go.
Exactly. All right, let's do our personal recommendation album.
You should listen to the ass, you should
recommendations.
And we're going to start with Dan. What can you recommend?
Did I get to this part in the script?
Don't worry about it. Just give one album if you could recommend something.
Horrors Gold. We saw them live. They opened for Red Fang, and I think that Zach and I were just talking about this. Like the record actually translates really well, but live, like they crushed it. Like I was shocked that Red Fang decided.
Shocked that name's available.
Horrors,
those whores.
Yeah. Horrors Gold is the name of the album.
I got it here. Yep.
Yeah, it works so well. But yeah, man, like I said, they were amazing live. I like their previous album too, which had something
clean. Mental illness as mating ritual. Baby teeth playing poor.
Clean is the one that was before that I really liked. And that album had more like a Jesus lizard vibe to it that I really enjoyed. But like this is, I don't know, man, I don't know how to put it, but great record and super cool band and awesome live. So if you want to, get your face fucking torn off, go see Horrors.
But don't tell your wife that's where you're going.
I'm gonna go see Horrors.
See some horrors.
Awesome. All
right, Zach.
I got two, but I'll sneak them in real quick. The first one, I just want to draw attention to Spirit Adrift, Chained to Oblivion.
Good album.
It's really good, and I don't think it's gotten some praise, but I don't think enough. So I just wanted to point that one out, and I think it pays off with repeated listening, and it's a record of catharsis, and when you listen to it, I think you can pick up on that. And then on the death metal side of things, one I'm not seeing getting much mention at all, but one that I loved is a band called Interment, Scent of the Buried.
I think Mark was really into that one.
Yeah, great.
The franchise?
School, kind of like Swedish style death metal, but really good playing. I mean, just like killer fucking drumming.
You're writing this down, Buke? You're basically describing Buke's inner life.
Yeah, give me this name again.
Are they on Bandcamp?
Interment, Scent of the Buried.
Yeah. It's like on a white album cover, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Really snuck in there. It's great. So.
Excellent.
Cool.
I just heard a sample. Yeah, this is me all the way.
Yeah.
All right, John.
All right. Hopefully I won't cough here. I kept my personal recommendation a deep track with the influential albums. Maybe not influential at the time, but an album from that period. So, but from Chicago, one of the kind of first 80s doom bands. And it's the first self-titled album, which got changed later on. That's Trouble.
Yeah.
The first one, Psalm 9, which is actually Trouble, but they changed it when they released an album called Trouble. So It's their first album, Psalm 9. I think it's an unbelievable album. And if you don't know anything about early doom from the 80s, you should start there with them and St. Vitus and stuff like that.
Yep.
So,
Hey, John, I'm just going to interrupt you for 2 seconds. Hey, Zach, did you know that the drummer for Trouble is a Brewer Allagash?
Yeah, actually, Nick and I were talking about that recently, and I hadn't realized that before, and it totally blew my mind. Those guys were, one of them was at our Chicago show, and Lothar, yeah. But I didn't realize that there was a Trouble Allagash connection, and that's so fucking cool.
Jeff Ole Olsen. Jeff, the drummer. He had to drop off. He's no longer in the Skull or Trouble the Skull.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think he's had to take a bigger role at Allagash.
John.
So don't let that happen to you. Do not let True overcome Khemmis. Okay.
Interesting.
That's a concern of ours on the podcast. Who love chemists? All right.
John, that was interesting because we played with Skull and St. Vitus back to back. Yeah. In Arizona.
Oh, that must have been awesome.
Yeah, we were just totally nerding out. Yeah. And they were like, hey, and then Lothar from Skull Trouble, he's like, hey, sign this record for my girlfriend. And we're like, I was going to ask you to sign my chick,
Yes, you're like, oh, fuck yeah.
It's really cool. And then he came to the show, and they're amazing people. Great band.
That's awesome.
We love
Hey,
them.
quickly, why we just mentioned breweries? Do you guys know Black Sky? Because the guys from Pile of Priests, they hang out at Black Sky Brewery.
Sure do.
Yeah, for sure, man. They're like maybe half a mile away from us, so they're real close by.
They're real close. Yeah. And they help put on a festival that we've been doing here in Denver for 4 maybe years now.
Yeah.
Called Denver Black Sky.
Cool.
And we've had Weekend Nachos twice.
Yep.
We've played it twice. Yeah, we played it twice.
It's great.
It's great. Primitive Man, Municipal Waste. I mean, right? Like, I mean, I can't even tell. Like, they have Relapsed is actually part of it, so they've had their bands there.
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah, we know Black
Cool.
Sky for sure.
Yep.
And we're in the wrong city for metal.
Yeah, so it would seem.
It's pretty ridiculous. It's actually a legit fest. It's kind of like tapering down as the years go on, but this year was as legit as
Not that Maryland doesn't have Maryland Death Fest or anything, but
No.
jeez.
Yeah, well, we don't either now. Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
oh, George.
It's just small now. But
Who's next?
No,
Will.
who's next? Will. Personal
my
recommendation, Will.
Yeah, Freedom Hawk, Sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
This is
oh yeah,
weirdly enough.
Well, no, I got the first
Huh.
one. It just came out.
From a rock band.
Yeah, what's weird is, so, I'm perusing through Bandcamp and iTunes and stuff, and I see Freedom Hawk. Oh, I've heard that name before. Let me check it out. And so this album called Sunlight, which in iTunes, it came up as just a new release this last week. I checked and I looked further, and it was actually released in 2008. I guess it was some like remastered or re-released 9 years later in 2017. But wow, if you want to talk about Black Sabbath worship, and if you want to talk about somebody whose vocals is the closest thing I've ever heard to sounding like Ozzy Osbourne, check out Freedom Hawk. It is great. I dig it. I love it. I think they're from the Virginia Beach area.
Virginia, yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So they said from the Outer Banks or something of Virginia, or the something the islands.
I thought they were from Norfolk, or as they, I don't know how they say in Virginia, like Norfolk or some bullshit. But
yeah. So
anyway, yeah.
As a Marine, I was stationed at Norfolk.
There you go.
Norfolk.
But I'm confused.
3 years.
I actually have the first one, Will, and I've had it for a while. But are you saying this new one is just that one released with the new title?
No, because I was confused
I'll look it up.
by this. Yeah. So Freedom Hawk. When you look at iTunes this week for new releases, Sunlight comes up, and then if you look on their webpage or look back at discographies or whatever, it was actually released in 2008, and somehow it was released again 9 years later. But anyway,
cool,
phenomenal doom metal, and what struck me is this guy actually is, when you hear about all these bands that are all Black Sabbath worship, type of doom bands, this guy actually sounds like Ozzy. That's what stuck out to me.
But I don't have that.
It was really interesting, and I'm definitely digging it. So check it out.
Cool. I'll pick it up. I have the first self-titled one. Mine is something I think I think I must mention this many times. I can't remember what we've done in the past, but I have mentioned Bruce Dickinson's Chemical Wedding record in the past, one of the best metal records of the 90s. And I don't remember if I've suggested this one, but if people don't have it, they really should. And it's Bruce Dickinson, Accident of Birth. This was when Bruce, he'd kind of got experimental, if you want to say, or any number of things for a while. And then he got with Roy Z and made these 2 consecutive amazing heavy metal records. Really, I still listen to them both. They were better than what Iron Maiden was doing at the time by a long shot. So Accident of Birth, highly recommended. And one of my vinyl holy grails, I can never find it. It's like $150 consistently on Discogs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a great record, though. I've noticed it's on your want list, too, George.
Yeah.
Buke.
An album that I just didn't have room for my list last year for your death metal fans. I've mentioned it before, but now the personal recommendation, I'm telling you right now, again, Blood Red Throne in their album Union of Flesh and Machine was a great death metal album that came out last year. Earlier in the year, so I think it kind of got forgotten by some. And another band, a female-fronted kind of classic doom band. The album came out last year, and it was wonderful. Savage Master with Whips and Chains.
Spank Bang.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Buke, I noticed King Woman has a new record coming out, too.
Yep.
All right.
Sure.
My personal recommendation is one that somehow managed to not make my list last year, but it should have. Is a band called Heavenwood and their album The Tarot of the Bohemians. It's
Did you say Morningwood?
No, Heavenwood. It's good. Check it out. All right.
Cool.
Let's move on to vinyl or other purchases. We know you guys like vinyl. What have you picked up lately?
I've been on kind of a cold spell. I bought that Horrors record at the show that I told you about. I just bought a record by a local band called Pueblo Escobar.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, kind of weird. I don't know how you describe it. It's a little bit psyche and noisy and
noise rock.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. But the singer was in a band called Get Some, which had a moment of notoriety, and more importantly, in a band that I really loved in Denver that never got its due. It's called Kingdom of Magic. That was a doom band, and they were great. But anyway, those are the last two that I picked up. Well, and the Leonard Cohen record was probably one of my last orders.
Mm-hmm.
But
I get the vinyl for that.
Yeah, I got that on vinyl, and it sounds great.
Awesome.
Excellent. Zach.
I got a handful. Anacon, Exegesis. It's a great black metal style band. It's on Gilead. Lev from oh my god, Krallis plays drums in this band, and it's kind of like a dumbed down version of that band in a way, where some of the riffs are more straightforward. It's a little bit less technical, and for me that's great. Blood Incantations, mini LP, Interdimensional Extinction. I've had Star Spawn, so I wanted to pick up this.
Wait, was this before Star Spawn?
Yeah, it was a release before Star Spawn, and it's
isn't it like their first two demos?
Yeah, it's the stuff before Star Spawn.
Yeah,
basically.
It's like two releases they put into one. I think it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had that too. It's good.
It's legitimate interest, Zach, because that made a lot of our list last year. So
the
other one, Star Spawn.
Yeah. So I got that from one of the guys in the band, and it's great. Insomnium Winter's Gate.
Yes.
That's a great album, and it's cool to have the record because it comes with a story, the full short story that the album's based on. So it's really cool to be able to read that, listen to the album, check out the lyrics. It's a cool experience, experience. Yeah, it's a cool vinyl experience. And then Titan Blood, Accursed Skin, I mentioned earlier, and then this guy from New Zealand called Marlon Williams, which is great singer-songwriter type stuff, and he's got a really cool, haunting voice, so if you're into that at all.
Probably.
Yeah, he's a young guy. It's almost like traditional American folk music, but filtered through this different, life experience or whatever from there.
Cheap for
yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's good. Yeah.
All right, John.
All right. I only have one. Had the album for years, but finally got the vinyl, and that's Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Nice.
Still waiting for that facelift.
Still waiting for facelift, yes, but I finally got Dirt on vinyl. It's that part of that music on vinyl release that they're doing for a lot of bands right now. So
yeah.
Got that as a gift at Christmas. So that's all I've gotten.
Well done. That's awesome.
All right, Will. We know you don't do vinyl.
All right. Yeah. So I don't do vinyl, and maybe Dan can sympathize with me a little bit. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and there's no way I'm having a record player or records in my house at this point. I have a lot of records. They're all put it all in a box up on a high shelf. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My kid's 8, so she is very respectful. And one of the first things I taught her to do as soon as she could write, and she had motor skills, was how to put a needle on a record.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, good thinking.
I like her to use the arm, I'm doing this motion. I like her to use the little arm lever, just in case. She skipped one across an Aretha Franklin record that I was real bummed about. So she's really respectful.
I like that. You're like, I'm going to teach her to drive a stick just in case that's what she
yeah. Just in case you ever could own a Porsche. That's what I'm doing.
Khemmis is getting so big, honey, you're going to have a Porsche one day.
Yeah. I'll be driving my 98 GMC Sierra, but you might have a Porsche.
I can appreciate that as a father. So my digital downloads that I have, I think this is no particular order. This is the first thing that I think Jay sent me from all the way from Ireland, Scathnad Dieth.
Oh, yeah.
Pledge Nothing But Flesh. Definitely digging this. Another one Jay sent me, which is Texas Massacre, self-titled album. I think the whole thing is like 6 minutes long. It's probably, I think it's 17 songs that are 6 minutes long, the whole album.
Super tight, though.
No, it's good. I instantly grabbed me. I like it. Something that George sent me, being the incredible Star Wars fan and nerd that I am, the Bantha Rider self-titled album. These guys are from Poland. It's completely instrumental, but it's good. It's straight up good stoner doom. And then one of the things that John Tardy from Obituary recommended during the email interview I did with him, he recommended Dust Bowl album, Mass Confusion. I think this is a thrash band, old school thrash band out of Germany.
Dust Bowl?
And Dust Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, so I like that. For some reason, I didn't have Paradise Lost self-titled album, so I picked that up. I pre-ordered Sleep's new album, Clarity.
Whoa.
Pre-ordered Hark.
Pre-order? Sorry, Will. I was talking to Zach, and I should have muted it. Sorry.
No, saying that you can pre-order it? What, were you shocked that there was a pre-order for it?
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming that soon. I don't. Would you guys know what the release date is of that Sleep record?
I mean, I can look it up. It's on Bandcamp, so I pre-ordered it on
April
Bandcamp.
20th,
420.
Yeah, 420.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Like 3 days before the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest.
February 10th. So it's only like.
And so then because Sleep is a little bit confusing because they have like Jerusalem and then they have Dope Smoker, and it's like the same album but broken up 2 different ways. So like I went back and looked at my Sleep discography and I realized I didn't have Volume 1, so I bought Volume 1, and then I bought obviously my personal recommendation, Freedom Hawk. I bought one of the older albums, Into the Mind, and this is one I sent to Jay, and I think everyone on the podcast may like this one. Band called Rude. And I think they're from the Berkeley, California area, Jay. So I don't know if you heard of these guys or know these guys. They have a new album called Remnants. And this is straight up old school. Like this sounds exactly like Schultz Schrodinger on a Scream Bloody Gore.
Yeah, I downloaded it, but I didn't notice where they were from. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure they're from Berkeley.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that would be a pretty controversial name, Rude, in Berkeley.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a bunch of like women with hairy bushes and like super hippie chicks, or I don't know, from Berkeley. Sorry, we always rip on Jay for being from Berkeley.
I'm in Richmond now, baby. Living with all next guys. So
in case you don't know, Richmond's just, for those of us in the Bay Area, just a tad bit different than Berkeley.
That's sarcasm. It's
just a little different.
I'm not back with the salt of the earth now, believe me, you.
And then I got I pre-ordered the new Immolation Atonement, and then when I realized I didn't have Immolation Dawn of Passion, I bought that. And then I got to support my buddy Shannon Lucas, and I got the Serpentine Dominion, even though I had like the rough cuts, or like the Studio Masters or something that Shannon sent me a long time ago. And I have to say, the actual album that was released, so if you don't know Serpentine Dominion, it's George Corpse Grinder Fisher from Cannibal Corpse, it's Adam from Killswitch Engage, and it's my buddy Shannon from formerly of Black Dial Murray of Battlecross and something else, I forget. But this is so it's kind of like Corpse Grinder. You got the death metal vocals, but then you have Adam from Killswitch Engage who wants the clean vocals, and he's the one doing the clean vocals. When I heard the first cut of this, there's way too much clean vocals, so the final version of this, a lot more Corpse Grinder, a lot less Adam, so I'm digging a lot more. And then I went out and I got their Ronzi Pazuzu.
Hey.
That was what we're talking about. And that's what I've been listening to. That's my vinyl purchases, i.e. digital downloads.
All right.
Well, we haven't done this in a while, so we skipped it last episode because we had such a long episode. So I got a little list here, but I'll just kind of read through it pretty quick. I got The Witchery in his Infernal Majesty's Service on vinyl. I had that. I got it from Nuclear Blast Europe, I think. One of the reasons I've been listening to that Paul Bear EP is I just picked that up on vinyl. Buke, in your honor, I bought Sun, the black one. They did a bunch of re-releases recently. I picked up From Mars to Sirius, Gojira. We were all talking about how we couldn't find that in vinyl, and suddenly they were out there. A bunch of them. I picked up this box set, Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, 30th anniversary, which I bought. I already had those, but I actually bought it primarily for the cool stuff in the package, which includes as much live footage of both of those tours as exists on a DVD.
Hey Jay.
Yeah.
Well done.
Those DVDs are audio.
DVDs, and then there's outtakes on audio CDs and the 180 gram remasters of the album, and then a really bitchin' coffee table book because I love that period so much. And then like an Ozzy gold necklace cross thing. That's kind of cool. I picked up Witchcraft Firewood. That was a Christmas gift from Buke, actually. I picked up Dio, A Decade of Dio box set. It's the first 6 Dio records on 180 gram reissue. Whew, sorry, gotta keep going here. I picked up Death, The Sound of Perseverance, the Relapse one, because all those Relapse re-releases I thought have been really good.
Nice.
I picked up, this was the thing that turned me on to the Ozzy box set. The Ozzy box set has a CD of this, but I found a Record Store Day release on the shelf new at some random record store. It was Ozzy live from the Blizzard of Oz tour, double album live. It's not the tribute record, but it's sort of that basically the same show. Almost done. Picked up 9 Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral, which I didn't have on vinyl, but very much wanted to have. Picked up all of the Dead Can Dance vinyl releases that came out recently.
Oh, good man.
Yes.
Yeah, I got all of them. I got.
I have to interject. The one time I saw Dead Can Dance live, it made me cry.
I've seen it like 5 times. I flew to Seattle.
Live.
I flew
really
to
good.
Seattle to see the first reunion show in America.
I don't know these guys. Feel like I should.
It's like a world music. I mean, it's not world music, but I don't know if you'd like it, Buke, but you may try it out. I picked up. Okay, so that's Toward the Within the Realm of Dying Sun, Spleen and Ideal, Into the Labyrinth. I picked up the Eerie album on vinyl, and last but not least, I've been going through a Rocky Erickson phase, and I picked up Gremlins Have Pictures. I don't know if people know Rocky Erickson, but he's a wicked fucking genius, and that record in particular, Gremlins Have Pictures, is like this kind of weird mishmash of stuff pulled from different areas of his career, and it's just this raw, kick-ass.
Hunt down the evil one.
I have the evil one, but I don't have it on vinyl though. But this one I just picked up on vinyl. So
that's I don't know, man. Rocky Erickson's incredible. Totally.
There's a new that some company just put these out again, and the evil one is one of them, and the other one is Don't Slander Me, I think was the other one.
Yeah, really.
There's a really great Rocky Erickson documentary available on YouTube if you haven't seen it.
You're gonna miss me.
And he does a version of the creature
These
with
guys
the
don't miss a beat. These guys know everything going on.
I told you, dude. Like anything that comes out of Zach's mouth that has to do with music, like there's about a 90%.
Well, hey, you want to talk about Colt Texas guys? You got Rocky Erickson. You got
that's it. I didn't even think about the Texas connection. But he's special. I mean, this guy has a voice like an angel, and like his version of Lou Reed's Heroin is just like the greatest version you're ever gonna hear in your life. Yeah, great record. That one, I like the evil one, and Gremlins Have Pictures in particular.
Yeah. Jay, my question for you is, how do you eat, man? You spend all your money on
records, I know.
He doesn't have kids.
Have you seen how?
Well, first of all, I
how
actually
skinny he is.
Yeah, have you seen? And on top of that, guys, he's also a vegan. So he steps outside and he picks grass and stuff. And eats it.
To be fair, we have
that's it. Yeah, Dan just said it. Jay goes outside and grazes.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a lawnmower.
We have a dual income in my house, and also we usually do that every episode. So that was about 2 months worth of records, but I did buy a lot of fucking records, and 2 of them were box sets, no less. So yeah, but we just moved into a new apartment, and I've got them all out on these shelves now. They're beautiful. So.
Jay dumpster dives for food that places throw out. Jay just keeps the cycle open.
Too bad no one throws out vinyl anymore.
Yeah, this is still good.
What do you got, Buke?
One thing, real quick. I got it right after Christmas. The Khemmis, the Hunted, awesome blue, red, magenta splatter. It's gorgeous. The packaging is the artwork alone. I could frame that and hang it up. We talked about it earlier. And Jay, my gracious friend, surprised me right around time for my birthday in early January. And Jay mentioned it, but the Dio, A Decade of Dio.
It's cool.
Yeah. Has Holy Diver, Last in Line, Sacred Heart, Dream Evil, Lock Up the Wolves, and Strange Highways on it.
Hey, Zach, would you say the name of the artist is who does all your artwork, including the Khemmis artwork?
Sam Turner.
He does all True and all the Khemmis stuff?
He's done almost all the Khemmis stuff. Not quite all of it, but he's done all the True stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask him to do stuff for you. He's locked up. He's theirs.
Yeah. Got a real popular band that's using his stuff well.
Well, I was going to start a garage band.
Yeah, it's been a slow start. It's been a slow start for me this year. I've only got 2. Like Jay, I got the Gojira From Mars to Sirius, and I got this was just reissued as well. The Catatonia, The Great Cold Distance.
Oh yes, I love Catatonia. Man.
Yeah, they'll be touring the States here pretty quick.
Yeah, in fact, I just threw that vinyl on right before we started.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, we've got one more go round, and this is for deep tracks.
Here's a song that you never fucking heard. Here's a song that we think you should know. Here's a song that you never fucking heard. Now listen. Here's a song that you never fucking heard. Here's a song that we think you should know. Here's a song that you never fucking heard.
Dan, do you have a deep track?
You know what? Honestly, I did not consider this one.
No worries.
This is the one I always forget when I'm doing my.
I got one. How about all right. Whole Lot of Rosie by AC/DC?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Okay.
Oh, I love that one.
Great song, not a hit, and they got lots of them.
Yeah.
So.
And Axl Rose does a passable version of it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Zach just took a break, so we maybe can come back to him. I don't know if he did it.
Yeah, we'll roll him back in. Yeah.
Sure.
So let's go to you, John, and then we'll come back to that.
Cool. Like I said, I stuck to that period that we were talking about for our big list earlier. And it's a band that I have a love-hate relationship because all their hits I'm kind of sick of. I hate when they dick around on stage and fuck up all the time. But when they decide to play hard rock and some metal, they're unbelievably badass. And this is the band Van Halen. Huh?
Metallica?
Yeah, no. This is Van Halen because they dick around way too much on stage. But when they want to be heavy, when they want to play hard rock, they're pretty badass. And this is the song Romeo Delight off of Women and Children First. Probably their heaviest song outside of like maybe Mean Street. just a killer song.
Mean Streets being probably my favorite Van Halen song, Mean Streets. Fair Warning was my first record by them, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, same here, Jay. Yeah. Mean Streets my favorite song by them also. So
cool. That whole record's good.
Zach, did you have a deep track?
Yeah, I do. Any excuse I get to talk about Samoth Race, the band. So this is the last song off their first album, Life's Trade. The song is called Cruel Awake, and I think it's 13 minutes or something. But holy shit, man. I mean, it builds to this incredible crescendo, and it's just a slow burn. It's melodic and heavy and all the great things you want in a cool doom song. Really can't express the way it makes me feel. It saves me into that.
I don't know it, and on the strength of your suggestion, I'm going to use your deep. I'm going to buy it. I'll pick it up and see what I think.
Yeah, Life's Trade is amazing.
I've been listening to that album for a long time, many years, and every time that song ends, I'm just like blown away, man. Something about it.
Puke doesn't have his headphones on. Put your headphones on. There. Puke, didn't we meet the drummer, Joe, from those guys?
Oh.
Samoth Race?
Yes, we certainly did.
He's in, what the hell's the name of that band?
Yeah, I'm blanking out right now. They played with Black Breath for that show.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
I can't remember either.
I know it. I just...
At the Moon Room?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. I can't remember either.
Please.
Jeez, sorry.
Theories.
Yeah.
Yep.
Theories, yes.
Yeah, we interviewed them when they were in town.
Long dreads.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. Will.
My geek track. Creator, To the Afterborn, off the album Hordes of Chaos from 2009. This is a song that starts off slow. You listen to the lyrics, kind of builds up like F you, Christ, God, Christians, whatever. Kind of right up my alley. And then it's kind of like a slow burn, and it's just ferocious the last like minute of the song. Love it. It's probably the 7th of 10 songs on the album Hordes of Chaos, but definitely a deep track, and I definitely love it.
I almost went Creator
For all
for my deep
those
track.
reasons. Well, I was thinking about Creator with the new album coming out.
Sure.
I've been listening to a lot of Creator lately, and I just
so was
love
I.
Creator. So,
All right. Jay.
Mine is a variety of generic, but not really. And it is what I would call deep track. I put on Killers the other day. I hadn't listened to that in a while, and I have it on vinyl, so I threw it on. I had some free time here around the house this weekend. And I had forgotten how much I liked the instrumental on that record called Genghis Khan.
Nice.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It goes to all kinds of weird different places. It's a good transitional maiden tune. It's like, it fits right on Killers. It's kind of right between the first record and then heading into Number of the Beast. It's a hip tune. And I also was just reminded how much I like that record in general. But even though Paul Di'Anno is not on that particular song, it's worth hearing.
Right on. Buke.
It's funny you mentioned them, Jay, because with the announcement of them going on tour, mine also is a major one, and it's actually not from one of their popular albums. It's from No Prayer. I don't know how much. I like it too. Some people would say it's not their best of the time.
That was the first time I saw them was on that tour.
But I don't know if it's a deep track, if it kind of kicks the album off. But Tail Gunner,
Yeah.
It's deep. I'd call it deep. Yeah, it's a good song too. It's like probably the best song on that record.
yeah, I would not say it's a deep track, but it's not the most popular album. So if you're going to pick a popular song off a not popular album, that's a good one.
Okay.
I love that song.
Good reminder, too. I haven't listened to that forever.
And thanks for not saying "Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter" or whatever.
Bring
I
your
was like, oh, he's
Dota. What's a
He's gonna
Dota?
go there.
what's that?
Giorgio.
All right. So my deep track is from a little band called Volbeat, and it was on their Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies album. And there's 14 songs on this album. They released 7 singles and did not manage to hit the best song on the album, which for me is the track called The Nameless One. Catchy as fuck. And I don't have any idea why they didn't release it as a single, but there you go.
I'll have to familiarize myself.
It's so good. I like that's one of those songs that I will just play.
That's my doorbell. Sorry.
Hello?
That's a good doorbell.
What was the name of the track?
The Nameless One.
Nameless One. That's why I didn't remember it. It's nameless.
Yeah.
But
It's basically this song about like meeting the Reaper. The Reaper, he's like talking to his like girl, and he's like, we're dead, and we're getting ready to hop on this horse here with the Nameless One, and be dead. It's kind of cool,
Nice.
and yet it's catchy.
My daughter's named after a Volbeat song.
Is that right?
We've never heard that before.
I haven't.
Well, and you have Jay. Jay's been on this podcast almost as long as I have. He's like, really? I never heard that before.
Well, I don't usually listen to what you say, Will. I'm like, Will's talking. I can start thinking about the next thing I'm going to say.
True enough.
All right. Well,
I'll show you guys. Hold on. Let me show you this real quick. You won't see. You'll have to edit this, George, because there's the original Beer Wizard.
Oh,
Wait.
Yes.
Move it
Look
back
at that.
just a little bit. Move back.
that is awesome.
do you know how many guys would pay to have a tat of that? Look at that.
We know 2. Yeah.
I love that he's pouring a Coors too. Did you notice that? Dude?
Yeah.
Is he really? No shit.
I don't know. We live in Denver. Not Coors Light. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
I just wanted to show you that.
That's awesome. Oh,
It's a banquet. Yeah.
Well, here we
Sorry.
are. Finally, you didn't think it was going to end, but we have
but you know
finally
what?
reached
Though,
the end.
whenever we go long, that means
We're having fun.
We're having fun.
Yeah.
Or we had a long script. But today we had fun.
I always feel compelled to say to any guest who was willing to hang in this long, thank you so much, guys. Like seriously, it was a true joy. You were some of the most interactive guests once we got in the regular episode that we've ever had to actually take part in the conversations past the interview. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it was our pleasure. You guys are fun, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll
it's just like I wish we could hang out at the bar with you and have the same conversation.
Yeah,
we can do that in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Philly. We'll do it.
Awesome.
Cool beans.
Unless you're
So
like,
if you want to see the guys in Khemmis right now, don't forget they're going on tour with Oathbreaker. They're running a series of dates on that show. They're going to be at the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest. They're going to be at Psycho Fest. Maybe some unannounced tours that they, of course, know about but can't tell us right now, probably. It's going to be a busy year for them. They're riding high, so check them out. I'm my album of the year, so check them out, guys, please.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Congratulations on having such a good year. I'm happy for you. That's great. Well deserved.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah,
definitely.
All right, before we go, make sure to check us out on SoundCloud. Check us out on Facebook. On Twitter, I am at DiscipleOVMetal.
Here's my part when I always feel bad for having guests on and saying I'm at Opeth fan on Twitter.
It could be worse, dude.
Yeah, I could be at Linkin Park fan. And good thing Twitter wasn't out when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I am at Catatonic J.
I am at Brew Metal Will.
And I'm at White Cluster 69.
69.
And these guys are on Facebook at Khemmis, on Twitter at Khemmis Doom, and here if you're on Xbox Live, Jay is at Catatonic J-O.
Hey yo, and also I will say this too about Khemmis. Let me just kind of test this theory. Yeah, just Google those boys. There's nobody else using that word out there. No ancient Egyptians or Greeks that I can find. So it's all Khemmis when you Google it.
All Khemmis all the time.
All Khemmis all the time.
All right. Yeah, and we're also, of course, at wearemetalheads.com. And you can look us up on Bandcamp and see what we're listening to.
Cool. Well, here's to a good year, boys. This is our first of the year. Looking forward to the rest of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and Dan and Zach, thank you so much from all of us. Real pleasure talking to you guys. You guys are fun. Obviously, Zach, you're a brewer. Love it.
Yeah, likewise. Man.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks so much.
Seriously, George, just turn it off. Turn it off. That's the end of the show. People aren't even listening. They are listening, apparently. Seriously. Fuck you. Good night.